I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
What is up, Fury fam? How you doing, man? It's your host, Shake Money. How you doing? Welcome. It's a Saturday night. Give me 1 second. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. I'm over here drinking my W Energy drink. Today's show is about game day experiences, your favorite game day moments. Which is your favorite game day? I've been to a few games, and unfortunately, we didn't come up to the right side of those games. So it is what it is, man. It's we here on a Saturday, just chilling, talking about the favorite game days. My favorite game so far, my favorite game last year, I don't want to say it was the Baltimore game, but I would say it was because I really didn't watch that one from start to finish. I seen the replay of that game, so I couldn't tell you that game. Steelers game was a good game. Shout out to my man Lewis. Thank you for showing up, watching him. Appreciate you. What is up though? My favorite game, I would say last year, Cleveland was a good game. Yo, G, what's good, brother? How you doing? Glad you up in here. Is that Putin? That's my dog. No, one of my favorite games to watch, I would say it was Steelers game was good because Noah Higby, he won the game. I don't care what nobody says. Let me see. I have had a lot of. I would say there's a few games. The game that the I say the New England game where in 2019 where we eliminated the New England Patriots, not eliminated, but made them into a second seed. I mean, took them out of the home field advantage. That was a good one. Let me see. I'll never forget that game because that's where Devontae Parker went off on Stephon Gilmore. The number what was his name? I can't think of his name right now. But he was the guy who went off on the Chicago game. He was pretty fast. He did pretty good as well as too. And then he opted out the next year. Damn it, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank on it? His last name was Wilson. Wilson. Miami Dolphins. God damn it. Miami Dolphins Wilson. There we go. Albert Wilson. Yeah, Albert Wilson. He played an intricate part of that game as well. I mean, when you look at that game, I think that was what you call a team effort, special teams, defense, and not to mention the fact that that team was predicted to go win maybe 2 games that year. They went into Foxborough, which is a hard place to win in December, no less, with big implications for the New England Patriots. And that what kind of solidified, in my opinion, Brian Flores, his coaching abilities. Unfortunately, what happened after that is all political, and it is what it is. I got McDaniel's back, but at the same time, I'm not going to ignore what Flores did for us. You like it or not, I don't give a fuck. Another game, as a matter of fact, I think was that season as well, was the Eagles game where they did that little weird formation to score the touchdown. That was a good game as well. If you're looking at the Adam Gase days, I love the Ram against the Rams where everybody pushed Jarvis Landry in to get a touchdown. That was kind of like, and what was crazy was that LA Rams team was horrible. They probably only had like one win, and we barely came out victorious in that one. But I mean, what's going on, banana? Yeah, what's crazy about that game was that a lot of the NFC West was not good that year. And that's who we were playing. We played, and Colin Kaepernick came to Hard Rock, and I think, yeah, it was Kiko, either Dominican Sue or Kiko. Yeah, no, Dominican Sue stopped Kaepernick from entering the end zone and kind of saved that game. We went 10-6, and a lot of those games weren't pretty, but you know, they found a way to win with different players, different positions. 2000, so that was the 2016, and then of course the year after that, that's when we, holy moly, as my Italian brothers will say, marron. We freaking Cap for life. What's going on, brother? That year after that, we had freaking, of course, the hurricane hit. Then the Timmons, the new acquired middle linebacker we got, went AWOL. Vance Jefferson took the head coach. I think he was kind of responsible for our wins in 2016. Took the job as a head coach to Denver, and you know, again, the hurricane. Then the guy went AWOL. I believe Tannehill was injured right before any preseason games. We hired, Jake Cutler. I think my Katina, what's up? I think we were destined to fail there, but we had some pretty good games. The Atlanta game was definitely a good one where Rashawn Jones got a winning interception. Of course, I think it was I don't know if it was a Monday night or a Sunday night. I know it was a prime time. Jakeem Grant looked good against Malcolm Butler, and I think that's ultimately why he got released from New England. Man, he torched Malcolm Butler 2 times, one for a touchdown with Jay Cutler, and ultimately that's what did him in, as far as I'm concerned. But Jay Cutler got $10 million. There was no bye week that year because we had a switch because of the hurricane. So the week we played the Buccaneers is that when we used our bye week. So with no bye week, all this travel time, man, that year, I don't know. The saying goes, what could go wrong went wrong. And then, of course, 2018 with the Miami Miracle. And we had after that Miami Miracle, we had a good chance to make the playoffs. And shit went downhill from there, man. So I open up the lines of communication. Tell me what was your favorite game day memories. Let's talk about some. Even in chat, what was your favorite game that you can remember? Put it in the chat. I would love to hear one of your favorite games. What year? As a matter of fact, what was your favorite game last year? I know a lot of people went to the games. Going to the games is a lot more fun. Unfortunately for me, every time I seem to go to one, we don't have any good luck. So I don't think I'm going to be going to games. I might go to some tailgates. I'm definitely going to the Giants game this year. The Giants game is definitely going to be one I want to go to, at least one. And so either way, I'm going to go to one regardless. Me and my boy, we're going to go. The revealing of the Wildcat. Yes, I remember that. It was 2008. We were in New England. We had to do something because I don't think we won too many games that year. And I'll never forget. Yeah, we took New England by surprise, but unfortunately, the game after that, they came and beat us in Miami, and it was close. The Greg Camarillo touchdown for the win was another game. Yeah, I agree. I'll never forget. I was living in Miami Shores at the time, and I was living in one of the efficiencies, and I was excited. I was happy. It's like, I don't care what nobody says. When Dolphins win, I celebrate, bro. What's going on, man? There's always a difference between wins and losses. When you lose, when the Dolphins lose, you kind of fucking. How I do it is, when the Dolphins lose, I just decommunicate myself with social media and everything else like that. I just put on Netflix or put in a DVD. Nothing that has internet access. So if I could just sulk and, of course, have me one of these. But of course, when I win, I try to see. I look on YouTube, Miami Dolphins, whatever, and 9 out of 10 times you will see the media go, well, it wasn't so much what the Dolphins did, it's so much what the other team didn't do. The Dolphins didn't win so much as the team that we played, they lost. So what's going on, Ethan Stepp? How you doing, brother? So I think it's amazing how the double. I guess that's one of the reasons why we have Dolphin YouTubers now, because it's not about how we win. It's how about how the other teams lost. When Miami beats New England, what did New England do wrong? Why did they lose? If I guarantee you, let me see. The worst game, we were up on New Orleans Saints. And we're like up 28.5. Fans were talking trash before the game and nothing. Yeah, I hate when that happens, man. Yes, enjoy your 4th of July too, man. But what I was saying is about if Miami beats New England, beats Kansas City, whether it's convincingly or not, I can already hear the excuses for what the media is going to say about see, what happens is they'll make the excuses for the other team, but they don't make the excuses for Miami. So if Miami wins, if Miami loses, yeah, Reggie Bush, he went. Reggie Bush was, I think, one of the most underrated Miami Dolphin players. he was a good player to have on Madden, and especially if you line him up as at the wide receiver position, he had speed. He knew how to catch out the backfield. I think he was one of our underrated players that we had. I definitely enjoyed Reggie Bush while he was here in Miami. But I would say, like, for instance, we lost the game. They'd be like, "Oh, no, Mahomes was the better Mahomes was the better team." I bet you Tyreek Hill regrets going to Miami. But if they lost, the reason Mahomes lost was because it was the flight to Germany. That's why he lost. They were out, so. Yeah, and it is what it is. I agree. They found something wrong with KC and say the reason. Yep, and that's how it is. And of course, there's other quarterbacks that, again, are injury prone and have a lot of injuries, but we don't get the same courtesy. But again, that's a good thing, because that's what created these platforms. That's what created YouTube in general. So, I feel that. By the way, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure that notifications are going out. So, what's going on, Lewis?
Shake, shake. What's going on?
Living the dream, baby.
I heard that.
So, I know you went to a couple of games last year. Tell me what was that like?
Oh man, last year was great. The Buffalo game was electric. I guess so many people wanted to beat Buffalo. I mean, the stadium was full. Dolphin Bills fans going back at each other here and there. So I mean, that atmosphere was good. I was at the Pittsburgh game with Noah Benogany, the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
There for Monday night. I was there for that. I was also there for Minnesota. The one game for me, though, I was at, you remember in 1994, it was opening day. Rainy, nasty. That's when the Marlins used to play at old Joe Robbie Stadium. Bledsoe, I believe, threw for 400 plus. I think Marino was almost a little bit over 500. They were going back and forth. I was at that game. And that was probably one of my best memories. Two good quarterbacks going, well, one good, one great, in my opinion, going back and forth in the rain and stuff, man. It was Irving Fryer, Mark Ingram, and the boys, man. It was a pretty good game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, as a matter of fact, by the way, shout out to Alex Dono, who's going to be with us this Wednesday. When he was in the blender, he mentioned one of his memorable games was that game in particular.
Oh man, I was in the building for that, man. It was pretty good. I can't lie. I think I was 12, I think, at the time, maybe 13 at the time.
So what do you think? What how about you? What say you, Crypto? What was your favorite game day memories?
I think mine was still the Monday Night Football game, the '85 Monday Night game.
Okay.
That one was still ranked as a number one. But speaking of the game that Lewis talking about, I remember exactly where I was at when I was when that game was played. I was actually in the Army as a new recruit, and we was on a break upstairs because they on Sundays was kind of like our off days, like our free time, like soldier time. And I was upstairs in the rec room, in the break room, when I was watching that game on TV when they was having that shootout like that. I think Marino had like 5 touchdowns on that game, or 4 or 5 touchdowns. I remember that was just an epic performance. And he threw, it was like 4th down and 10. And he threw a touchdown, a bomb, a go route to Fryer.
To Irving Fryer up the sideline.
Right.
Absolutely.
Go right.
Yep.
On 4th and 10. It always reminded me of that Justin Jefferson play against the Bills, but it wasn't like a spectacular catch. But he threw that touchdown on that sideline. I damn that tore the eardrums off that rec room, man.
What's up,
that
Ennis?
was a
How you
good
doing,
moment,
brother?
man. I remember that game.
Morning. What up?
And
What's up,
by the
man?
way,
Good morning.
Crypto, when Crypto was in the blender with me, Lewis, the one thing that always that I still laugh to this day, his mom was as a Bears fan, and he was scared to talk trash to his mom because like she ain't finna punish me for that.
Right. Yeah, I was in a Bears household, man. That's just crazy, man. Growing up in Chicago, man, and then whenever we played the Bears, man, it was like I was the lone wolf.
Did Louis wake up out of that coma yet? I've been putting him in.
Man, we all know better than that. Hey, man, what's going on with Twitter, man? I can't, for some reason, it's saying.
It just
What's up, Bonjo?
What's up,
got
Bonjo?
back. It just got back working.
Oh, okay, because my shit was messed up. I couldn't see none of my tweets or nothing like that. I tried to put it, I tried to put your show on Twitter, which I know I put it on, right? And
It's
I know
on
it
there.
must
That's
have.
how I knew. That's how I knew y'all was on. I seen the tweet. It's
Well,
back
see,
working.
yeah, I was about to say I
Yeah,
knew it was on
Twitter was
because
kind of messing up.
I seen El Capitan, I seen El Cap, he retweeted it, right? But I like on my shit, I can't see none of my tweets that I put up there. Like I can't.
It's
My
back
page
working.
is.
When you go back,
Right.
it's gonna be back. It just before I came on here, the news feed started scrolling again.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I can't. So remember we was talking about Wilkes yesterday in the space, and third person, I don't like was saying, like, so my people's reached out to they source, and I've been sending you shit. You know what I'm saying? That my people did. They said that they hit up today because of the conversation from yesterday. They said, relax. They told the deal is getting done. Like people are tripping. That's why he's not tripping and been in OTAs because they told him it's not Banjo don't like him. It's not even that. Like they said, relax. They know they getting axed. Whoever it is been getting axed. I guess my people, and he told my people like, bro, they told him 1,000 times like it's getting done. So we'll see. Your boy might look like a fool.
You talking about Christian Wilkins, Ennis?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
The person they are saying might not be here is Baker.
Yeah, because what?
No, they said they put a lot on his plate, so he has to show by the trade deadline. Because it's a caveat. If we win, Banjo might not stay. If we win the bowl, he might slide off of the sunset, and if not, he might run it back to say. He said they saying that he chose the Dolphins because he believes this is a Super Bowl bound team. If he brings what he brings.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's why he came here. Which what a lot of us thought, like why would he pick us? We knew the pieces on defense. We did, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a good marriage, good offense, good defense. Shit, that's a good recipe. You know what I'm saying?
So you think Ennis, when Fangio came out at first, like one of his first press conferences, and he said that he would like to be in Miami as long as they would have him, you think that was all for like just for show, like he was just talking? You think if to your point, let's say Miami wins the chip this year, you think he walks off into the sunset?
That makes sense. Hear me out. Why do you think Ronaldo Hill is here? Ronaldo Hill could have got a defensive coordinator job. You see what I'm saying? They say he's going to be a head coach soon. So why take a lesser role to come work with Fangio? If he might, like I said, if we win it, he can pass it off to Ronaldo Hill. It's the same defense. He's fixing him his new gimmicks or whatever, wrinkles and all that. Like he's getting the first knowledge. That's what I like. Like if it is gonna be that and he pass it off, shit, I wouldn't be mad at that. If we went in the ball and he passed it off to Ronaldo Hill, like we losing the OG nigga, but Ronaldo Hill is gonna be a stud in this league as a coach. Like they rave about it. He could have got a DC job this year. He was turning down interviews because he knew he was coming to work with Fangio.
Yeah, and to your point too, what Fangio saying, listen, I want to stay in Miami, is pretty much telling these other owners, hey, listen, if you want me out of here, you got to give me that bread. If you want me to be your head coach.
I think his mom is down there. That's why another reason why it
What's
made it
up, Vic?
a better choice for him as well. It all just lined up for him so well. His mom down here, he wanted to be close to her. So
real quick, and let me ask you, because we're doing some game day memories. We'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I just want to ask you real quickly. Can you give me some of your a couple of good game day memories?
The 80 against the 85 Bears, that's the one that sticks out for me.
Weren't you at a game here last year? Didn't you come to Miami last year?
I would say that's second. Well, it could be first because I had so much fun. It was my first one, but as a kid, that 85 Bears, like that's hard to top, even though it wasn't live. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just a time as growing up, like everybody like we don't have a shot type shit. It's the Bears, they dominate. But as a kid, I'm believing in Dan Marino. You know how it was young. Like, see, you can't tell a young kid nothing about his team and his quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed up late for that game. I had school and everything. and I was really getting in trouble for that. I ain't care. You know what I'm saying? And to see them win, I that was like one of the greatest feelings as a kid for the team. That's because we lost the bowl against San Francisco, so that's the only good memory I had as a kid as a Dolphin. Like a lot of people, some people got to go to games, I didn't. So the best memory as a kid is that, and then my best adult game was the Patriot game, going to meet cool people, tailgating, and seeing it live. You know what I'm saying? The first time. So TV games can't compare to that. Besides that 85 Bears game for me.
Yeah, and you got to meet your. I think it was. I don't know if you meet, but I seen you. You had pictures with Reginald Brown and all those dudes.
Yeah, I got me and Doc chilling at the tailgate. Wally, that's why I said this year, if I do come down next year, whatever, from now on, I could come kick it with y'all, everybody together. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, I came down. I was on some bullshit. I was gonna look for Cap. I'm being real. Like if this shit is over, I was on that. Like Wally was like, nah, man, just chill out. Because back then I was an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So. This year, I'm like, fuck that. We're gonna kick it together, man. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and I tell you what, and it's I'm 2 hours away. So even if I just tailgate, I don't go to the game and tailgate, and then go to my homeboy's house who lives down the street. Shit, I want to be there. I'll be there just for tailgate.
That's the thing. Like this network here, you'll see when we do these races at camp. Tickets come to our spaces. Like anybody want to go. Like we know several people that season ticket holders that come to the spaces and be trying to sell them for the dirt or give them away. Like you know what I'm saying? Be good people. Like hey, I can't go this week. You know what I'm saying? I got an anniversary or what. Y'all know any good people that want to go? You know what I'm saying? Because they know we die hard fans. So just be in the loop, bro. I'm telling you, we had to tell Tangi that last night in the space. Like, cause she flying down, she got her reservation, she just don't have tickets. And while I was telling her the Patriot game that I came to, his boys just came to the tailgate and came up on tickets. So, like, you'll get a ticket, bro, if you come. Trust me. I ain't gonna lie. I don't lie. You know what I'm saying? That ain't me.
But either way, like I said, I grew up down the street from the stadium in Carroll City, and even if I don't, man, it's still good to go back home and visit my peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real. I wish I could just drive down on a Sunday.
But
I can drive down on a
Is that
Sunday.
a neighborhood shake money? I hear a lot of people reference Carroll City. Is that like a neighborhood?
Carroll City, yeah. It's now called Miami Gardens, which I would never fucking address it. I would never call it that, but it's Carroll City because what happened was Miami Gardens is Norland, Carroll City, and parts of Opelika. Because Carroll City was unincorporated day. Now they made those. They incorporated it, made it into a big city. Now it's an incorporated city.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So they like expanded, they expanded and stuff like that.
Yeah. They got their own police force and everything like that.
Yeah. I'm from
Oh,
Carroll
damn.
City as
Okay.
well. Murder Gardens, baby. It's not Miami Gardens. It's Murder
Murder.
Gardens.
Yeah.
Murder Garden. Damn, Lewis. Murder Gardens.
Come on, man.
I remember my best friend's nephew lost his friend because
Mhm.
well, this dude was in honor roll. Okay, the guy was in honor roll, making straight A's. Had a bright future. So of course his dad, being that he's doing well, gave him a car. You know what I'm saying, as a reward. And the dude got jealous of his car, whatever, and shot the dude.
Damn, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was wild, man. I just remember growing up out there and stuff, and you know, it was a wild time back then. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, you know, it's crazy when you sit back and you look at the world we live in now because, and I know Shake can attest to this. Growing up in whatever area, but just speaking of Carroll City, it wasn't like a lot of gunplay like you see nowadays. Everybody carrying a gun, bro. You had a problem back in the day. You would line it up. Square up, and then some of my closest friends to the day, we came to fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? You came to blows, but that's how we handled it. I guess for me, what I'm trying to say, I kind of that's why I appreciated it back in the day. Because even if you didn't become friends after, you just squared up as two men, got it in, and you kept it pushing. Instead of all these young kids,
You live to see another day.
Walking around with guns and taking people's life. Bro, it's not really about that. Just if you got real world beef, if it really has to come to that, just square up and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day.
Old-fashioned way.
But
square it up.
So let's bring it back to the Dolphins. You were talking about Jerome Baker, and I'll make this roster because I'm thinking about where would his fit be if he did, because I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's like the edge, outside edge linebacker type. You know what I'm saying? He have to play one of those inside linebackers if they did keep him.
Well, I think Jerome Baker for me is going to be on this team now, and it's he might be right. Maybe at the trade deadline, or if the team is not performing at the level that we all think, there could be a possibility. But I brought it up in the Twitter space the other day. I know the contract seems like it's bad, but if you really look at it, I mean, there's a lot of linebackers across the league. Jerome Baker graded out as the 17th best linebacker in the game. It's not like he's trash. You know what I'm saying? And every year for me, he's gotten better. Again, what do we always say for a lot of players, right? Availability is the best ability, right? Like that. Jerome Baker's never missed a start as a Miami Dolphin. He's Mr. Reliable. He's there. He's 100+ tackler a season. And again, I know, and shout out to Ennis and his crew. I know they play a lot of videos and stuff in their Twitter spaces. If you hear Jerome Baker kind of talk about the new Vic Fangio scheme, it's not like the Brian Flores scheme, right? It's more of a read and react type thing. Jerome Baker says he's more free. And I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, that's the kind of role I want to see Jerome Baker in. I mean, he's athletic enough. He has the size. I think we would like to see him maybe bulk up a little bit bigger. But I think Jerome Baker's going to do good in this defense. I really do, under Vic Fangio. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm banking on. I think he's going to perform well.
So you could say he could be like the Roquan Smith?
Well, again, listen, there's definitely levels to certain players, Shake. I would say that. I don't think Jerome Baker is a Roquan Smith. But this is the way I kind of framed it in the Twitter space. If he was graded out as the 17th best linebacker last year, could I see him make a jump to 13? Yeah. To 12? Yeah. Like, why not? Why? Again, every year so far, all I've seen Jerome Baker do is get better and better and better and better. So who am I to say under Vic Fangio in this new scheme, he wouldn't take another step? You see what I'm saying? Like, if he was regressing, okay, I get it. But nah, bro, I think Jerome Baker, and bro, he's only, 26 years old? I mean, it seems like Jerome Baker's played for the Miami Dolphins for the last 12 years, but
yeah.
But bro, he's still young, and Again, I see El Capitan. Welcome,
What's up, El
Cap,
Capitan?
but
What
I
up,
just
What's up,
think
everybody?
Cap?
I
What
think
up?
he's gonna do good, man.
Hey,
So,
bro, El
so
Capitan, this is for you, my brother.
Yeah,
so
boy.
for me, the issue is, so we was talking, like I said, last night we had a space after the show here. A dolphin lady had a space and she let us talk, and I brought that same question, Shake. You know what I'm saying? And the thing for me is, like, we know he's a great, like, his best is rushing the quarterback, right? But in this game, the outside linebackers are going to be the rushers. So, and what struggles I had with Baker is his read and recognition is late, and they he had a lot on his plate, and so if you free him up, that might make him play faster on that end. The D line is supposed to eat up blocks so they can play
Yeah,
free. If
yeah,
a tackle or a guard gets to him, he's out to play. He doesn't shed blocks good enough for me.
yeah.
So is he going to transition in that aspect to where he can read and recognize and shed blocks? Like, if he can do
Mm-hmm.
that, then he's going to take a step up. But I'm still paused on that because he's playing zone now more. Like, his best is going towards the quarterback, not sitting back and watching an area. And, like, he's fast enough, but to me, his recognition is just slow. Maybe I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but I just think his recognition is a little slow.
So
And
something I've kind of noticed, if I could jump in real quick,
go for
about
it.
Jerome Baker, it seems like often when he's not rushing the passer, he's kind of put in the position that, you know, he's asked to do a lot as far as where you want him to be and duties you want him to take care of. So, like, when he's playing, inside linebacker and he's off the ball, they don't just ask him to, hey, hold down your zone. They ask him to hold down and play back, like, cleanups on a lot. So really, and more often than not, they're asking too much of one man in these
Mm-hmm.
situations. And so technically it's his miss, but really you shouldn't be asking a guy to do all that. You should have, someone else in the way. And that's something I think Fangio is gonna clean up with this zone defense. He's not
Mm-hmm.
going to be asked to cover a zone and a half anymore. And then you're gonna find these matchups where someone, because of the personnel that the offense is going to run, you're kind of like a free man in some of these instances. That's what I like about zone defense when you have elite linebackers and elite DBs, is that at times, just through personnel matchup, because of who they're going to ask to block, you're going to be a free guy. And that means you get to roam and do whatever you want. If you're a linebacker, more often than not, if it's a passing play, you get the blitz. If you're a DB, more often than not, you get to play sneak and just hide and try to anticipate where the ball's going to go, and that's how these interceptions are going to come. So as long as people are doing their job and doing their duty, and the most important thing of this defense is something that's going to, I think this is the paramount reason why Fangio chose the Dolphins over everyone else. Not just the talent, but how long these guys have played together.
Yeah.
The most important thing in this defense that I think is going to be key is our communication amongst each other on defense. These guys
Correct.
know each other. They've played with each other for a long time. When this thing starts firing on all cylinders, there will be nobody and no offensive attack that's going to be able to stop this defense.
Well, one thing I heard about, especially about with Brian Flores and Bill Belichick, and is the fact that when it comes to the free safety and the middle linebacker, they put the guy with the highest IQ. So that's one of the reasons they were saying, I've heard many times, that Jerome Baker was put in the middle because of his high football IQ. I don't know if IQ and recognition are two in the same, but that's what people are always saying about Jerome Baker, that he does have a high football IQ.
Maybe. I don't know.
A lot of people, I think, mostly would come to Jerome Baker. This was quarreling about his pay, his salary that he was getting.
Yeah.
Right.
That's mainly what it was.
I think that's what exactly crypto. I think that's what it is. If Jerome
Yeah.
Baker was making $9 million, nobody would have a problem with Jerome Baker.
Yeah, that's
The
the
problem
driving
is
force.
he's making 13, 14, right? And that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
But Jerome Baker's
Yeah,
fine,
but
man. I think
the
Jerome
reason-
Baker's all right.
You know, the reason why his money looks wrong is because he's already restructured at least once to help the team out.
That's
You know what I'm
another
saying?
good point.
We can't, and this is how Dolphin fans get sometimes. And I don't mean to give anyone any offense, but I hear people in the fan base crowing to give Christian Wilkins $22 million. And if that happens, it wouldn't be a year later. They'd be like, this guy is making too much money. You know what I'm saying?
I've said the same thing.
I can't handle it. You know, you gotta be all right when you pay some of these guys, and you gotta spend money smart, man. So, all right, boys, I just wanted to come up and give love to everybody. I'm at the gym.
Hey.
I just seen Shake and everything. I want to give love.
Hey, appreciate you, El Capitan. Hey, man, tonight is gonna be lit, man.
I know.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for the Samoan descent, show. I can't wait, man.
Hey, El
That's gonna
Capitan,
be good.
before you go,
Yeah, what's up, Nick?
calisthenics is so overrated, man. I applaud you guys. I applaud you guys that can do that shit, man. That shit's so overrated.
I'm not a calisthenic guy, dude. I build my body, so I do muscle bodybuilding, bro. That's what I do.
All right, my
So
brother.
you agree calisthenics so overrated?
Yes and no.
I wouldn't say that.
Calisthenics
Well,
It
is
has
great,
purpose.
I'm saying it from a guy that was born in 1970.
but calisthenics is really good for maintaining your mobility and joint and all that good stuff as you get older, man. It's super important.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's too much work for guys like me, man.
Well, when you're older, when you get older, you can't really lift the weights like you used to, and the calisthenics will keep you young, dog.
Yep.
Yeah, offsets.
And see if you agree with this, El Capitan. First of all, fans up, panel. Hope everybody's having
Fans
a
up.
great
Thanks
day,
up,
man.
Big Nick.
Another rainy early day in South Florida, man. So you know what
Yeah,
that means
boy.
when you go outside.
It's gonna be hotter than mud.
But this is the thing a friend and I was having about Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker is the type of player that there's no reason the success that he's had so far in the NFL should be where it is, because there isn't a guy on defense that has had more put on their plate with nothing around them to quantify the reason they're having that success. So imagine if all things would have been equal the whole time Jerome Baker would have been in his in his defense, with people around him that can actually make him better. He wouldn't, and he's 17 now without ever having that person to actually make him better, without having all of the things that he's had on his plate. And he's still the leading tackler, top 20 ranked linebacker. So imagine if they actually put something around him.
I would say this, Big Nick, and I'll leave you guys with this. We all forget how big of a problem our off-ball linebackers have been.
Right.
And right now we're sitting in a spot where we're kind of middling, but dude, we were down at the bottom. Back to the Janelle Ellerby and what's his name when we signed those guys?
Phillip Wheeler.
Janelle Ellerby trying to fix it. It got such a big problem. We signed two big free agents in the off season, and it did nothing for us. And until we drafted Raekwon.
Well, no, we fixed it with Carlos Dansby. We fixed it with Carlos Dansby, but Gates had a problem with
really. It was a short-term fix with Carlos Dansby, if you remember. We were having such a problem with our off-ball linebackers that we back-to-back drafted guys in years. We drafted Raekwon McMillan in round 2, and then we followed it up the next year with Jerome Baker in round 3. And until we drafted Jerome Baker, we in the middle of the field. It's why we would get chewed up by teams right in the middle of the field. And ever since then, it's just not been the case. Yeah, is there things that we wish he was the most elite? Sure. But we got a guy that's a guy that you can count on for the most part in the center of the field with him. I think, to me, the icing on the cake will be AVG. That's it.
Yep.
Him and AVG are going to lock down the center in there, and they're going to be able to rotate, and we're going to be golden all years.
By the way, before you go, get Van Gink, what's it? The shirt is that's available.
Unleash the Gink.
Yeah,
Unleash the Gink. Yeah. I had HP Design Unleash the Gink. and it's pretty dope. I like it. You know, I love
That's what's
Nathan
up.
Baker. All right, guys.
All right, my
that's a
brother. Be
fire
safe,
shirt.
man.
Later,
All right,
everybody.
Cap.
Okay.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to touch on what Cap said before the last statement he just said about the overplaying of players or anything like that. I agree. If you give Christian Wilkins 22, 23 million, right? A year from now, we know how this fan base is. They'll be like, he's making too much money. And the perfect example, right, is Emmanuel Ogbah. Emmanuel Ogbah comes in his first 2 years. The reason he got paid, he had 9.5 sacks, right? Most batted balls down as an NFL player. Great pass rushing rate. Now, you know, sacks included, right?
Yeah.
He has a kind of subpar year last year. We all know he was dealing with injuries, right? Battling injuries, not getting on the field and stuff. And what is everybody saying about Emmanuel Ogbah? The money, he's not worth it. He can't play. He's trash. And it's the same shit. We do it all the time. So I don't know why everybody be clamoring. And I get it. I love the player in Christian Wilkins. But again, he's just not worth 20, 19, 20, 21. He's not worth it. I don't care what nobody says. If we're talking about football production and just not a man or a player, right? I'm sorry, he's not worth 20 million. And we all know it. We just want to keep him. That's why we come out and say, "Oh, pay him." But we all know at the end of the day, he's not worth 20 million.
Good morning, Lewis. I had a question for you. Do you think if Wilkins' average annual salary is about 18 to 18.5 million, is that a viable number for you?
I mean, for the fan base, I know it would. Again, I'd be willing to go up to 17. Again, if I say 17, is it that much of a difference for 18? No. I just don't like the idea, Mark, of hearing 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 million.
Agree.
I don't.
I think we have to admit though that Wilkins is a better player than Oliver, and Oliver averaged 15.5 when you throw in the 10 million he's getting this year, plus the 68 million over 4 years. So he's getting 15.5. Wilkins, I think, is one of the best run stoppers in the league and is better than Oliver. So he should be getting about 17.5 in my opinion. And I think the Jets are going to grossly overpay for Quinnen Williams, to be honest with you.
Well, and see, I agree with everything you just said there. I think Christian Wilkins, that's where his number should be, around 17, 17.5. Again, 18, fine, cool. I'm not even going to argue. If you want to go 18.5, I won't even argue that. Again, for me, it's when I hear the 20s that it scares me off a little bit.
Yeah, 20 is a bit high.
The only thing I can say, though,
Oliver.
Oliver's out. Oliver got 17.5, and it's or 15.5, and I think that's a good number. And they can get off his contract in 3 years.
Given that Oliver is going to pay a higher tax rate, so you got to make up the difference of about 1 to 2 million. So in that aspect, 17 million sounds like a better number for Wilkins because you're going to have to make up that 1.5 million gap if you want to offset any taxes.
But in the league, in the league with the new pay scale structure in the league, well, it's not new, but it's been going on since the last CBA. One thing I've noticed is that when these guys, these ascending players, take that discount or that lesser contract, and they come out that year and they ball out, we have a X thing going on. We have an Aaron Donald situation going on. It has happened that they just signed a contract, and the following year they hold their teams by the nuts for more money. So don't be surprised if Christian takes the 16, 17, comes out and have an all-pro season and pull a Xavier Howard on us, because it is happening.
That's what I was about to say. That's what X did.
It has happened.
Do you think that they might bridge contract Wilkins, so maybe like 2 years at 35 million, 36 million, so he can work off and get a new contract if Fangio's system allows him to bring up more sacks?
It don't matter the length. If these guys outperform their contracts 1 year, they're going to hold the team by the nuts.
But they can't hold the team. But they can't hold the team by the nuts, because I hate when I hear that narrative. First of all, if you sign a contract, I don't give two flying fucks. I would have told Xavier Howard. See, the player don't have no leverage. I don't care what nobody says. If I sign a 4-year extension, let's say for Christian Wilkins, let's play this argument. a 4 or 5 year deal, right? For 16, 17 million. He becomes a Pro Bowler, all pro, whatever you want to say, and he comes to the negotiating table next year and he says, I'm not showing up. I don't want to play for this contract. I feel like I'm underpaid. I made a Pro Bowl. I made a all pro, this and that. I want more money. You know what I'm doing for Chris Greer? Okay, cool. Have a nice day. Shut my door right behind you. You think he's going to pass up? Again, you think he's not going to show up when the game checks start coming out of his pocket? When he starts missing, if he's at $17, $18 million a year, you think he's going to pay that $1 million game check? You think he's going to give that back
You're
to the
absolutely
league?
right.
They'll hold out.
Because he's going to get all that. He's going to get the bag.
They hold
Hang on a
out.
second,
They
Nick.
don't hold out. If you don't think
He's gonna.
Yeah. What Big Nick is referring to is what players have been doing nowadays. And shout out to I see Mike Florio say this all the time, and I've seen he reported this with several players. What they do is they'll go to camp and don't do anything.
They have an injury.
Either that or they have an injury or don't do anything.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then the teams in that aspect have to put it in the clause that if you're injured for whatever reason, we're still going to take money
themselves.
Yeah,
to
protect themselves.
The CBA won't allow that.
Well, they're going to have to come and find a mutual ground.
The general
that just
managers
can't
get
be
to
the
cut
case.
these guys. General managers get to cut these guys because it's Wednesday. So why can't they fight for their money when the team isn't beholden to them? They can cut them at any whim. You know,
well, that's how business.
If Christian Wilkins get $18 million and he don't make the Pro Bowl and he had just another season like he had, and Chris Greer say, "Yeah, man, this ain't," they can cut him.
But that's how business.
Well, it's going to cost them cap. It's going to cost them cap ramifications, Big Nick. They can't do that because it's going to cost them cap, and that's the issue. That's So if Wilkins, okay, let's just say because you can't. And I agree with Lewis 100% here. If Wilkins has a great year and he goes into Greer's office and says, I want more money or I'm holding out, they're going to tell him the same thing Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane told Stephon Diggs. Dude, do what you want. You owe us $33 million. Pony up if you don't show up. Go play wide receiver and shut the fuck up.
At the same time, you guys are clamoring for a player that had one good year to get paid now, and you guys are on his side. You guys.
I disagree. Wilkins has had 4 good years in this league. 4 very good years. But he's not a $20+ million a year player. Until he shows pass rush, that's where the money comes in. When it's pass rush, just like Quentin Williams is going to get $25
as far as Connor Williams is concerned, yeah, he had one good year, but at the end of the day, bro, if we can't get a good center is probably one of the most important positions on that offensive line because he's the one that has to have chemistry with the quarterback. So at the end of the day, Connor Williams has proven that he has chemistry with Tua. So that's invaluable in my opinion.
1,000%.
But Shay, nobody's bringing up the fact that Christian Wilkins led the NFL in tackles. I mean, in what they call not tackles for loss, but run stop. Right? Run stop.
That's
1 yard
agreeable
at the line of scrimmage. Who's going to replace that?
But at the same time,
at the same time, 2 years of production. Now,
he's already had multiple years.
It's not like it's only been 2 years. And again, Christian Wilkins is fine. You can say what you want about the run stuffer. We get all that. But that's not what gets people paid in the league.
Yeah.
Like, just because he's number 1 against the run doesn't mean he's worth $22 million.
Well, I'm going to put it to you this way. I'm going to put it to you. Big Nick, I'm going to put it to you this way. If you had to pick one person to get a season-ending injury, you don't want it to be Connor Williams because at the end of the day, that's the guy that's keeping Tua upright. Unfortunately, I agree with you everything you said about Christian Wilkins, but at the same time, it is a bigger detrimental to this team that we lose Connor Williams than Jerome Baker.
You guys might
not. Well, let's look at this way.
Not Jerome Baker.
You can always restructure Connor Williams. Give him less money this year, spread it out over the following year. The cap's going up pretty astronomically, so that's not going to be a long-term issue for any team in the league, I don't believe. So just restructure. If you need more money, you can restructure Williams. You can take care of Robert Hunt. You can get everybody in place.
Good year. It doesn't make sense. He had one good year. Played
He
his
was the
year
fourth
out.
ranked center in the league last year,
So
though,
what?
Nick. I mean,
So
the fourth
what was
ranked
he
center.
year? So what? That was 1 year. That was one year out of 5
I think
years.
I think Connor Williams is an evolving player. I think he's an evolving player. The
Man,
bad snaps are going to go down this year, and he's a very good football player. He's a
You would think
linchpin to
that.
that line.
You would.
I agree.
What you think about Connor Williams means nothing to me.
Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody of us think. It's what Chris Greer thinks of him. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the reason why they're not going to pay him this year. He's going to play on his $7 million. And if he balls out, we'll offer him an extension. If he wants to move on, we have all of our draft picks.
But that's why we're having this conversation. At the end of the day, it's just opinions. And
yeah, I know. But
Shake money.
Yes, sir.
Oh, quick non-Dolphin news. It's official. Damian Lillard has requested a trade.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
He's out. He's done. His career in Portland is over.
Crypto Mike can remember this, but 10 years ago, the narrative, not outside the NFL, but with inside our own fan base, was we draft players and we're farm systems for other teams, right?
For other teams, right? Yeah.
That was a narrative within our own fan base. Now we draft players that are balling, that needs to get paid, and we're like, we don't want to pay him, let him go. Like, we are the most bipolar fan base I've ever come across. Like,
so in other words, you're saying we're doing what we despise.
Absolutely. Like, it's too good, so we got to tear it down and be back to the same old Dolphins. We don't want to be good. We want to be the same old Dolphins because we get to cry on each other's shoulders, right? We don't want to celebrate. We want to cry. But I remember when we let Jarvis Landry go. Everybody wanted to pay Jarvis Landry. I like Jarvis, but I didn't want to pay Jarvis Landry no real wide receiver money. It didn't make sense at the time to pay Jarvis Landry that type of money that he wanted. Jarvis Williams wanted $19 million. I think that's what he wound up getting, right?
Yeah.
Did you want to pay Jarvis Williams $19 million?
No, not Jarvis Williams or Landry.
I mean Jarvis Landry.
Oh, but to say Jarvis Williams, no way. That's way. That's a bit much.
He'd have been happy with $9 million. He'd have been happy with $9 million over 6 years back then.
Right. Yeah. Jarvis Williams.
I agree. Listen, as much as I love Jarvis Landry, he wasn't getting Odell Beckham money.
Yeah, but they gave him
Odell got 18, right?
Cleveland gave him $19 million. We wasn't.
Odell got 18.
Yeah, exactly. And I was a big Landry fan. I'll tell you, man.
I was too. I wanted 53 Jarvis Landrys on this roster. We probably would have won a Super Bowl already.
Oh yeah.
But see, yeah, I was a Jarvis Landry fan, right? But I also saw Jarvis Landry cost us 2 or 3 games with his antics. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah. That one time where he
would get penalties.
You give us 9 yards for the first down and turn around and we lose 15 because you put somebody in a face mask for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was a hothead, bro. He was a
2
hothead.
steps forward, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. He was that kind of guy.
And remember, he had 1,000 catches and only had 9 touchdowns. Like, come on, I can't give you that team.
Yeah, but I tell you what, when it came to
he was
run
the first
blocking,
down.
When it came to run blocking, he was probably one of the best receivers out there. When it came to run blocking, and so I seen him put more DBs on their ass than anybody, bro. He had some nasty hits.
What would you guys think?
He was like David Boston blocking.
If Jerome Baker would have had some talent around him his first 3 or 4 years, where would Jerome Baker be at right now?
Well, I listen. I'm willing to listen. I think about this. Zach Thomas is a Hall of Famer, and I think one of the reasons why Zach Thomas is a Hall of Famer is because of the work. Number one, and number two, this guy had he knew how to read the offense like a fucking a book in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? But what also helps him.
The most important reason, Shay.
Hold on, let me land.
In front of him.
Now that's what I'm saying. Let me land. He had Daryl Gardner and Tim Bowens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think
one of my favorite linemen of all time in the Dolphins, Tim Bowens.
Oh yeah, Tim Bowens. I'm telling you, if Jerome Baker had those gap
All pro.
those gaps that Zach had, he'd probably do a lot better too. You know what I'm saying?
If he played
Welcome back,
along
brother.
with Zach, if he played next to Zach, he'll be doing that.
See, I don't agree with this narrative. Again, I think there's a lot of people, no one on the panel specifically, but I just think there's a lot of people in this fan base that talk out of both sides of their mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I hear this argument of players need other players around them to be better, I don't believe so, right? Because we say it with Tua Tagovailoa all the time. People wanted weapons around Tua, right? Okay, cool. The weapons came. Tua had a better year. But then in the same token, the same people that wanted those weapons around Tua, now they try to say that the weapons had.
You breaking up, Louis?
Yeah, breaking up.
Yeah, they do that all the time. Yeah, they do that all the time. That's a good point. But those are the people that literally just don't like Tua, period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like I said at the beginning, at the beginning of, all the talk about, when football season was ramping up, and all the commentators that said they don't know if Tua can play, Tua has a weak arm, all of the national people are now saying only if Tua can stay healthy. They're not talking about his play anymore. Right, they're just talking about his health now, so that's why I don't pay those attention. Oh, the receivers made Tua. Yeah, well, you guys said that about Duper and Clayton.
Well, here's the thing. This is one point I want to make.
Well, they know that was false.
I don't care what nobody says. The reason I give Tua his credit for those 4 games last year is if you put Mike Glennon in those game day situations.
Yep.
Hold on. I'll put you on mute real quick, Nick. Listen, I don't care what you say.
My bad.
That's all good. If you put Mike Glennon in those 4 game situations where Tua played perfect, he wouldn't put nowhere near close to those numbers that Tua did. So the quarterback has to put his part. I think
they have to play their role.
Wide receivers don't make a quarterback better, but they do help his numbers improve. You know what I'm saying? A wide receiver, like I tried to tell people, wide receivers isn't going to make a quarterback be able to read better. It's not going to make his footwork better. It ain't going to make his throwing mechanics better. But a wide receiver will give him better yards, better stats, and more and better chances of having success on the field.
A wide receiver will fool the rest of the NFL, making them think that their quarterback is a top 3 quarterback when it was really the wide receiver that's doing that. Because before that wide receiver got there, that quarterback was considered an absolute trash pick at that position until Stephon Diggs got there.
Yeah,
that's understandable. That could be said for a lot of quarterbacks, but then you have the example of certain quarterbacks doing it without or doing it with.
Well, here's the thing: a good receiver will help him get his confidence, and at the same token, the receiver did help him elevate his game. But the more that quarterback plays, the more experience that quarterback gets, the more the defense that quarterback sees, it'll help him. Eventually, he's not going to need that wide receiver to be top notch if he's a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Patrick
Mahomes, Tom Brady, et cetera, man. I mean,
and I think we all wanted to see Mike Wallace play a couple of years with Tannehill rather than just giving up on him just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted that because I understand you have to adjust to that type of speed. He never saw that type of speed in his life. You know what I'm saying? You have to give him a chance to adjust to that type of speed. But then again, Mike Wallace got to run more than one route too.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a one-trick pony.
My fault. I got a phone call. So
his own coach called him a one-trick pony. Mike Tomlin said that.
Yeah, but who paid him? That was who paid him? Was that Huizenga or was that Ross? That was Ross.
Ross is the one who gave him the break.
Ross put out that paycheck.
No, Ross was responsible for anything after 2008.
2008, yeah.
So it was Ross.
And
why Huizenga was a big spender too. Now, don't get me wrong.
See the the difference between Wayne Huizenga and Ross. Ross got the young, proven coaches. where Ross got the more experience, like Nick
You mean
Saban.
Huizenga?
Yeah,
Huizenga got the most experienced guys. Yep.
Yeah.
And the bigger difference between Huizenga, like we can, like us South Florida people, especially for a lot of other people, can speak on Huizenga. Huizenga was strictly an investor. He will buy something, he will increase the value, and he gets the hell up out of
And
it.
he dumps it. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a conventional investor in a sense.
He wasn't a Super Bowl. He wasn't clamoring over a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he wasn't about building dynasties at all. He don't care about dynasties.
He got a World Series with the Marlins, though.
Yeah, 2 times over. But then what he do? He sell them.
One time.
He sells them right after that. You know.
Yeah. Look, he sold the Panthers as soon as the Panthers increased their value, making the Stanley Cup. He sold them. Auto Nation became the biggest car company. He sold
Blockbuster.
it.
Yeah.
The only thing he would not Blockbuster. The only thing he would not sell is Waste Management, and he'll be a damn fool if he did.
Yeah, if he did that, yeah, that's companies you just don't sell. The Coca-Colas of the world and freaking U.S. Steel.
Yeah, you don't sell Waste Management, but he did. Wayne Huizenga, man, he was. People say he was a great owner. I just think he did more for South Florida than he did for his sports franchises.
Well, just you could say that same thing with this guy. He's doing more for New York than he is for the Dolphins.
Well,
yeah,
that's where he made it $8 billion out of New York.
Yeah, New York. Yeah, that's why his bread was buttered. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but here's the thing: people say, "Oh, listen." Everybody says, "Well, he built that stadium. Well, he built that stadium for 3 reasons. Number 1, to get the Super Bowl bid in Miami,
right.
And number 2, he's making money off of tennis, F1 Formula, and soccer."
And he didn't build the stadium; he just put a roof on it.
Yeah, he just revamped.
He revamped it.
Well, that's what I meant. Revamped it. I'm sorry, revamped it.
In 1989, that
wasn't for the Dolphins.
Well, he put us out our building for 1 year.
In 1989, well, in 1990, when that stadium was built, right, it was only 2 stadiums that had more seating capacities, and those was like historical places, like the Coliseum in LA, and I think it was in New Orleans was the only 2 stadiums that had more seats. So it was a new type of stadium. That was the best stadium in the football. And then it became one of the worst.
Well, the Coliseum had to go eventually. That was
am I wrong, or does Stephen Ross have a lot of business that he's doing in the city of Detroit too? I've heard that rumor that he's
He's doing
everything in Detroit.
He's buying up a bunch of parcels of land outside of the Wayne County, in parts of Wayne County. Yes, Louis, that's true.
By the way, just like Ross and Wayne Huizenga, Ross has a school of business in Michigan, and Wayne Huizenga has a school of business in Nova Southeastern University.
Yeah. And
he's got a lot there.
Ross has changed the league though. He's the most diverse owner in NFL history. He was the first one to appoint a woman at the head. He's hired multiple minority head coaches.
He is the most diverse.
He's made multiple players the highest paid players at their positions in NFL history. I think he's a great owner.
When it comes to the business side of it, yes. The football side of it, he's still got to prove it. But the business side, he's definitely a great owner.
Yeah, especially when he has people like he has good people like who's the guy? Damn it, what's his name? Garfinkel. There it is. He put
But we've always had great presidents, though. All of the presidents, whether it was the president for Shula, I forget his name right now.
Marino was a president for 3 days.
Nah, he was. That was over football operations.
He was the president for 3 days. They said, Marino, you can have the job. It's yours, man. It's for the taking. Marino said, fuck that. I don't want to
work every day. I don't want to work every day.
He said, fuck this. I ain't doing that no more. Rito said, y'all can have this. Damn.
Yeah, but the Dolphins have always had great presidents, though, from Shula to Huizenga to now, where they had, the president's always done, because the community is so wide open for things like that. especially where the stadium was. You know, both places where the stadium was, that it was pretty much easy pickings for them to come in and do something to make it seem like it's great. Because, like you said, when it was in Carol City, when it was called Carol City, and even when the Orange Bowl was in where it was and what's like Little Havana, you know, that's like it wasn't the best area.
Well,
So
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing happened when remember the triple whatever the hell the Heat named their stadium. I remember. I'll never forget. The Miami Arena was in a trash location, bro.
What are you
Miami
talking about
Arena.
before they built American Airlines Arena?
Yeah, it was called the Miami Arena. I went to plenty of wrestling events in that too. And it was man. There was more
I
homeless
heard
people.
some rumors about that,
And-
Shake Money. I heard it
Yeah,
bad. I
the
had some bad rumors about that.
Yeah.
Same
It was
guy-
bad.
the
Because what
same
happened
guy-
was, I'm sorry, Nick. By the Miami Arena, there's a thing called the Camilla's Home or whatever.
Yeah.
It's and that's where they put a lot of homeless people. Camilla's house.
and it wasn't
Oh,
like there's one guy in Miami, like his voice is loud, but I don't know how much power he actually have, but he has gotten shit done. Like Mickey Harris and them had to really fight to put the arena in that location because Norman Brayman ain't with that shit. That's the reason why the Marlins Stadium is where it is. Like it was so many different locations they had, but Norman Brayman would not allow that shit, man.
Yeah.
no, now the Marlins,
Yeah, so that's what-
they got their own ballpark by themselves, though, right?
yeah, so
Yeah, but
trying to know
Norman
when to go.
Brayman tried to stop that shit too.
Mhm.
Yeah, because at first they was playing a pro player for a while.
Yeah, they was trying to put them in Fort Lauderdale where the soccer stadium is, but you know, it's not enough. You know, it's not enough. It wasn't big enough.
Yeah, and then eventually the taxpayers paid. The taxpayers ponied up for the stadium, and that's why whatchamacallit didn't get his money. Couldn't get his funded by the city because of that stadium.
Yeah.
I remember that infamous. I think it was a Patriots game we played. It was because we shared stadiums with the Marlins because of that damn dirt in the middle of the field. He missed that field goal because of that damn freaking dirt there.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we lost that game because of that. Man, I was so pissed off. I'm like, damn it, the Marlins need their own building, man. They costing us games.
So you ain't pissed off of that same dirt took my quarterback's Achilles. You ain't pissed off of that?
Yeah, that too. But that goes without saying. That goes without saying too.
The next year they said, you know what? We're not going to leave it. That's after Dan got hurt. They started covering it up during the football season, and then during the baseball.
Yeah,
season,
they tried to.
Yeah, they said we ain't doing that shit no more.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is they doing? The Pittsburgh had the same problem too with the Steelers and Pirates. That's like, man, just get your own building, man. Y'all made millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, man. Just get your own building.
But Philadelphia had turf laid on top of cement with big seams. That was the worst, Philadelphia. And Soldier Field.
Receivers blew out their knees.
So many careers.
The AstroTurf.
Yeah,
the receivers blew out their knees on that AstroTurf.
And it wasn't even AstroTurf, Crypto. It was the seams. And you know, you trip over.
I'm talking about at the time when Davis blew out his legs, his knees. He blew out both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he blew out both his knees at the same time. I'm like, damn, that's gotta suck. Not just both of your knees at the same time. And then that takes a hell of a freaking bad luck to blow out two knees in one play.
That's what I was talking about. Shout out to Anthony Piolucci. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That Overtown isn't a good neighborhood. I don't care.
They play right next to the mall. They play right next to the mall that's not there anymore.
Oh, that was a bad neighborhood shape.
Yeah,
Overtown, hell yeah.
The only saving grace. The only saving grace, it was a few minutes away from Aventura. It was almost right off the water again. So, you know, those kind of communities are saving graces almost.
Well, hell, the Chicago Bulls played in a bad neighborhood. Hell, they still play in a bad neighborhood. They ain't moving them at all.
Every NBA stadium, pretty much, at least 27 NBA stadiums play in the hood.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least.
The Bulls Stadium was terrible. That's a terrible neighborhood, but I tell you.
Man, I remember I saw the Forum. I couldn't believe where the Forum was.
Mm-hmm.
The Forum was in the heart of Liberty City, the equivalent. I mean, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn.
The Los Angeles Forum. Yeah. Most basketball stadiums are in bad locations, and now think about it. Maybe the one in Salt Lake City is probably not. That's probably the only one because that's like downtown.
When Miami don't play, Miami play in pretty much South Beach. You got Cleveland play in the hood. Yeah, New York play right there on but
yeah, they downtown Manhattan. Yeah, they kind of like right there, and everybody's there. That's the melting pot right there.
I think Orlando is in the industrial area.
Orlando, yeah.
Yeah.
They play in the
my neighbor say
Philly's got them out
Brooklyn
there.
play. My neighbor say where Brooklyn play was the hood of the hood.
Yeah, but they right in downtown Brooklyn now. That when they built their new stadium at. I just went there this past April, a couple of months ago. I was there.
I think Philadelphia is in the hood. I think Philadelphia Arena is in the hood.
That's a nice stadium though. I like Brooklyn Stadium. As a
But
matter of fact,
tell me,
you know who was on the sideline, Shake Money, and when I went there, Jay-Z and Beyonce was there.
Oh shit!
Where?
It was in Brooklyn. Was at
he
the
was the owner
game.
there. He was the owner.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, he was on the sideline.
Yeah, he was like a 3% owner of the Nets.
By the way, according to Anthony Pialucci, Orlando is right off I-4, not too bad.
Yeah, isn't that industrial? Isn't that an industrial area though?
Yeah, just like whatchamacallit. Listen, I went to for the first time. I went to Marlins. It was the Rays versus the Marlins in St. Pete, whatever. And I tell you what, to actually watch a baseball game and not focus on the heat and humidity, you can actually watch the game was amazing. You know what I mean? Right. It was controlled. It was 72 degrees, no rain, no, fighting mosquitoes and shit. You're like, God damn.
I got a trivia question, or a question that make you go, Can somebody tell me why a basketball stadium in South Florida, on the Intercoastal, on South Beach, has not hosted an All-Star game?
Hey, why is that?
I don't know. I'm just asking, why haven't they hosted an All-Star game?
Yeah, he was on the beach. Look like Anthony's on the beach now.
What's up, Anthony?
What's up, fellas? Shake in the chat. Beautiful Mormon Beach, Florida.
Yeah, it looked like he's having a good time out on the beach now.
I've been stalking you guys. I've been stalking you guys in the chat. I don't know if you can hear me because the wind from the beach. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tell Daytona to tighten up and bring back spring break, man.
Bring back spring. He want to bring back.
Bring back spring break.
I just wanted to stop in and support my guy Shakes and the panel, man. You guys had a great show.
Anybody ever been to Daytona spring break?
No, I still haven't been there. I haven't been to Myrtle Beach neither.
They still do spring break in Daytona Beach?
No, it's not like back in our day. And I'm 42 years old. Not like in the 90s. No.
Right. It was back when it was really lively, yeah.
No, it's not like that anymore.
You know what was before Daytona spring break, though? You know what the spring break capital of the world before Daytona?
Where is that?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
And what happened was the city commissioners, they decided to make this
nice
rule that you can't wear thongs on the beach.
Oh,
and that killed our spring break.
Spring break, that'll pretty much kill it if you stop them from doing that.
Go ahead, Anthony. What's up?
Yeah, that's what happened.
No, I just wanted to the Magic. I was just going to tell my guy that the Magic, where they are, it's right off of I-4. It's in the city. It's not like the west side of Orlando where things are really out of control. It's pretty the Amtrak Center. It's not too bad.
So it's not industrial. It's like in the neighborhood, kind of like.
Yeah, it's not even in it. There's no neighborhood. Like my guy said,
close to the downtown area.
City industrial, downtown. But it's a real pain in the ass to get in and out of. I'd rather drive in the hood and be able to maneuver than where they're at.
Yeah, at least you can find somebody to park if you make sure nobody gonna break in your stuff.
Hey, by the way, Nick, this dude was in the blender, man, and thanks to you, bro. I've shared the Lusaka Polite story a few times, man. That was one of the best stories I've heard so far.
Polite, Lusaka Polite.
I call him Mr. Mo, please. Mr. Mo,
Hey,
please.
let me real quick, since this was a game day experience thing, I'm gonna real quick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you a downfall to that game that upset me, right?
Which one?
So we were in the touchdown club, you know, they had just started it, you know, we were on the field.
Yeah.
And it was the last game of the season. We playing the Jets. If we win, we're in.
Yeah,
And, this is when
yeah.
the Jets had Rex Ryan, Geno Smith was their quarterback. No reason we should have lost.
Exactly.
You know,
Was that the perfect Geno game? Was that the perfect Geno game?
We were
It
on.
was. Yes, he had a perfect rating that game. Yep.
153.
I did notice when I bought the tickets, but we were on the end of the field, but the Jets were warming up, right?
Yeah.
So when the game was over, none of the Dolphins players like came to, you know, slap high fives or anything. They all just left off the field. Unlike prior to, they never came over. I mean, and like Brian Hartline was, I want to say, our number one receiver at the time, you know, with Tannehill.
God damn.
But whatever, man.
Yeah.
The Dolphins players at that time showed zero class, man. And I was like, damn, you know, we just spent like $1,500 on these tickets. And at that time, we didn't really have a fan base. Like now, you go to the arena, it's packed with Dolphins. But my whole life, you go to a Jets game, a Bills game, there's always as many New Yorkers as there is, and anybody who lives in South Florida knows.
That's why I don't know.
All the New Yorkers move down to Florida and talk about how great New York is. Whatever. But yeah.
Hey, by the way, hold on before you leave. I want to show you something real quick.
That's why I don't go to the games to this day, because of that same reason you just said, Anthony. That's why I can't go. I'm too violent. I can't go.
Well, let me see what you got.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
You see what I mean, brother? It's kind of, man, and we always had bandwagon. The Heat, too. Listen, the Heat haven't had, listen, I've been a Heat fan. I grew up in South Florida, so anything in South Florida to the bone.
If we don't play in Dave, we don't like it.
Yeah, man. So when we won in 06, it was great for me, man. But there's a lot of fans, bro. They weren't there before that. They weren't going to be there after that. LeBron came. They brought a bunch of bandwagon guys. They all left again. But
hey, by the way, real quickly, I want you to show you that, and this is for all the people because you're from New York, right?
Me?
Yeah, originally.
I was born in Bensonhurst, but I moved to Miami when I was 3.
Okay, so if you have any family in New York,
Bensonhurst,
I do. I still have family.
Yeah, if you have any family there,
in Borough Park, they have a funeral home up there in Brooklyn.
So if you have any family that are Jets fans, I just want them to know that season tickets are still on sale.
Yeah. That shit is overrated, man. Listen, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to go there and resurrect his career. You know? Yeah, it's not going down.
I like that shit, man. You got to get T-shirts.
Listen, they're talking about he's going to do the Tom Brady. He doesn't have Godwin. He doesn't have Evans. He doesn't have Antonio Brown. He doesn't have the weapons that freaking Tom Brady did in Tampa.
And he's coming to a division. He's coming to a division where the other teams in the division don't give a damn about the
Shakes, I gotta get Mr. Man. I just wanted to stop in and support you and Larry K.
I appreciate you,
and
bro.
the panel, man. Great show. Crypto, big
man.
man.
Get on that.
Then you guys
get on those.
Hey,
get on those jet skis, man. Take a ride on those jet skis out there, man.
Coming soon, man. Listen, I'm on the Fins Tailgate Network as well. I'm definitely gonna have you on as a featured guest, bro. One day, bro.
Okay, brother. I'll catch you this weekend.
What's up, baby?
You guys have a safe 4th of July, man. Enjoy your weekend.
Much love,
man.
That's the dude. Hey, like I said, he was in the blender, man.
Cool.
You should check his episode out. I think.
Yeah, I'm about to check it out.
Anthony
one thing, Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be a culture shock, an awakening for Aaron Rodgers when he comes to a division where nobody gives a damn if you winning 6 Super Bowls. We still feel like we're better than you. He's not going to be used to that like a team. Like, I don't care. We don't care. We supposed to win this division. Every team in our division feels like they're supposed to win it. We didn't respect New England. Buffalo didn't respect New England. The Jets didn't respect New England. And it's the other way around with Buffalo. We just don't respect the leaders of our divisions. We don't care.
Right. Nobody respects the leaders. No matter who's the leader at the time, they always get disrespected.
Not in this division.
No. Nobody gave each other respect at all.
If we respected the New England Patriots in their heyday, there's no way in the world we would have been 6-6 with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't care about that.
Yeah, we didn't even care that they was winning 12 games a season. One of those losses was coming to us no matter what. Each one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
One of them losses was coming to us no matter
we
what.
don't care if you rested everybody at the end of the year. We don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, and even when you wasn't resting everybody, we know we got one on you when you needed it at the end of that was 2019. They needed that game real bad, and a 4-12 team came in there and smacked them in the mouth. That was probably one of the biggest ones there, the biggest accomplishments as a bad football team that I still say we had. They had everything to play for. We had everything to lose for, and we still beat them.
We went up there and beat them. I mean, they still wound up getting the #1 seed because I think Buffalo or something.
No, they did. No, we kept them from that.
Not that year, but I mean, a previous year, we went up there and we beat them the last game of the season when they was fighting, like 2 games before the last game, where they were still fighting for the #1 seed, and we went up there and beat their ass.
Yeah.
And by the way, shout out to my man H in the building. What's going on, brother? Go Gators.
H. Oh man, shake money.
I cannot respect the team whose only claim to fame is clowning Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't respect the team that the only claim to fame is being what was that team? Temple.
Notre Dame?
Temple.
Temple.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, what happened when y'all played Alabama? Y'all got
Shake Money. Hey, Shake Money. We gotta every now and then you gotta lay down and let everybody feel good about themselves. That's what the Canes did. We had to make everybody feel good about themselves.
Yeah, listen. Beat FIU first, and then we'll talk.
You can't spell citrus without UT. That's the most famous line in Florida Gators football history.
Yeah. Hey, we beat y'all last, so I don't care.
Don't worry, we had to make you feel good, Shake Money. That was we had to lay down in there.
I appreciate you.
You're gonna find it on 30-30, man. One day, man. You're gonna say, damn, they actually try to make us feel good. They laid down for us.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Shake, the University of Miami to this day play anybody that want to play them. We take nobody off our schedule.
Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, with the SEC, they made us take the. Hey, it's all legal.
So what's the deal with everybody want to go to the Pac-12?
Listen, we play a real Florida. Listen, we play a real Florida school, and that's Florida State. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's the real
Florida
school.
State.
Yeah, that's the real school in Florida. So that's what we do.
That's where all the convicts go.
We don't play those D2 other D2 schools in Florida. It's only Florida.
It's something about those D2 private schools. Something about those all-ass private schools that dominates.
Yep, it's called cheating.
We know that.
Don't go there, Hey, Shay.
It's called bribery.
Shay, we would never have a quarterback named Kerwin Bell, ever. We would
Not
never have a starting quarterback by the name of Kerwin Bell.
Or Chris Winkie.
Well, he won a chip. He won a chip.
Yeah, but Winkie, that's a bad name. Color used to say what's not a Hall of Fame name. Chris Winkie is definitely not a Hall of Fame name.
He played in the NFL.
Yeah, he did. First round pick, Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was, boy, I remember when they picked, boy, everybody in the NFL was like, what the fuck? That was like the biggest surprise, one of the biggest surprises in the NFL.
I don't think they need him. I think that's what.
And you know what's funny is he was older than
because the Culpepper was on the roster still, right?
I don't know, but nobody expected Chris Winkie to go in the first round. Nobody.
Yeah, because I don't think they need it. They already had their guy quarterback. Minnesota had it. They was already good at that spot.
That was like, why are you picking this guy?
In the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Even
over
though-
there, man.
But
That kicker that kept missing field goals at the end of the season, he eventually made his way to the NFL too, right? Shake Money?
Who's that?
The guy who kept missing the field goal at Florida State, no good, right. He was like Scott Norwood, but he did it at the college level. I forget his name. He missed a big field goal against the Canes.
Shay, who was a better quarterback? I'm not talking about the fanfare around the quarterback. I'm not talking about what he did. Who was a better quarterback for the Florida Gators? Chris Leak or Tebow?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you straight now. Chris Leak was one of my favorite quarterbacks. To me,
Leak
he was
good.
Whenever I thought before Tom Brady, whenever I used to think of the number 12, I used to always think of Chris Leak. Chris Leak was
playing 2000. If you'd playing this era, you'd have made it to the league. Only reason they make it to the league because of his height, right?
Exactly. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah. He was what, like 5'9", 5'12"? I mean,
he was 6 foot. He was 6 foot. He was about 6 foot.
Yeah.
No, I like Chris Leak, man. The guy was an accurate passer. You know, I mean, man, I love the way he played, bro. Chris Leak, he was a freshman, bro. He was a true freshman. He played all 4 years.
He played 2 years with Tebow, right?
No, 1 year.
You played 1 year with him?
Yeah, he came in. Tebow came in Chris Leak's senior year.
And they did everything they can to put Tebow in the starter over Chris Leak. Everything they could to make Tebow the starter.
No, actually, who's that? Urban Meyer knew that Tebow wasn't going to play. So what they did was they put Tebow in like short yard situations.
Yeah, goal line. Yeah.
That's what they did.
And that's when the ugliest pass in football.
Well, they play tight end.
The ugliest pass in football, that jump shit. That's the ugliest. Yeah. Like, they praise that shit. That was the ugliest shit in the world. A jump pass. I'm glad they don't do that shit in the NFL.
They try. They do. Every once in a while, they do.
They will every now and then. Yeah.
The quarterback would die if they tried that shit on the regular NFL.
Yeah, you can't do that on a regular basis. You got to be a very supreme. Now, I can see Patrick Mahomes doing something like that. But yeah, he throws at odd angles anyways.
By the time you on your way down, somebody in your chest.
The only thing that Tim Tebow did good was galvanize, and he was a leader. That's pretty much. But as far as being a pure quarterback, Chris Leak was hands down better.
And if y'all want me to think that boy was a virgin at the University of Florida, then I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. I never believe that shit when these guys talking about they virgin.
Hey, listen, whatever they do,
you must be you ain't talking about Chris Lee. You talking about
Tim Tebow?
What? Tebow, right?
Say he was a virgin up into the pros. He said he was a virgin after being in the pros.
Whatever they do with their pants down, I don't give a crap if he was or not.
Like
that's too thick, buddy.
You can't tell me what AC Green was, man. AC Green was 40 years old when he made that comment.
Yeah, he did say that. AC Green said he was a virgin that's probably what inspired the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, I used to say that too, Crypto. I used to say that too.
That's what inspired that movie.
You gotta think about AC Green when you hear that title, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That's probably what inspired the movie. Damn. Yep. Damn, that movie. I like, what in the world? What did this come from? Who thought of this? AC Green. That was it.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Steve Carell's funniest movie, and that black guy, whoever that black guy's name was, for him not to be like one of the best comedians in movies, I don't know what happened to him because he was awesome in that movie.
Which one? You talking about the in the same movie?
Yeah, the one that kept cheating on his girlfriend, the one that was going to fight Kevin Hart. Oh, you want nigga? You got nigga now, nigga now.
All right, let me ask you this. All right, let me ask you all this. We all know that The Rock was a better wrestler than Ron Simmons, but who was a better football player? Take your Homer hats off.
Ron Simmons. He was almost a Heisman Trophy winner.
He
what
was.
are you talking about?
Yeah.
The Rock played 3 games.
Now The Rock,
he was gonna be something until they recruited this guy named Warren Sapp, and then it was over.
Yeah.
But you know what? To be honest with you, and I'm going to be honest with you.
What happened with Warren Sapp?
The Rock,
Hall of
Ron
Famer.
Simmons is a better wrestler than The Rock. The Rock just has a better personality. That's it. One thing about wrestling is it doesn't matter if you're a good wrestler or not, but if in ring
good personality.
if you have a personality, because come on, man, you can't tell me that John Cena and Hulk Hogan are tacticians in the ring.
No, see,
No. But then he did both take money. Hulk Hogan was a good personality and he was a good wrestler. He was both.
A lot of us, a lot of fans like us, we like to say best wrestler or good wrestlers, right? But that's not what gets you over. And personality is big too. But you have to be a good worker. If you can take good bumps, if you can make them realistic, if you can, choreograph the match and not have any mess up, you don't necessarily have to be Kurt Angle to be considered one of the best wrestlers. Yeah. And I think eventually Rock became a better wrestler than Ron Simmons. Eventually, he honed his craft and he became really good. The Rock did a lot of things. He did everything but drop kicks and coming off the ropes.
Yeah, Ron Simmons.
The Rock was able to do a lot.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, that was his gig. You know, he was the best. He was the best tactician. But I would give it to Bret Hart.
Yeah, one thing about Ron Simmons, he was a brawler. I liked him. He was a brawler.
Yeah,
he was like the Road Warriors type of wrestler.
I didn't like him as Farouk though. I did not.
The
like
Road Warriors, yeah.
Me neither.
I did not like him as Farouk because I've known since I was a teenager how racist Vince McMahon is, and I just didn't like
Vince McMahon. Yeah, Vince McMahon.
What was that wrestler name that he ruined his career because he wanted to play the Iranian terrorist, and that was like right after 9/11, and he sent the guy out there, and it's like that just killed his whole career.
Yeah, I forget who that was. Yeah, that was bad timing. That was poor taste there when he did that. You don't do something like that after that event.
But that's just the way Vince was. Look, Kofi Kingston, he had Kofi Kingston come in with a Jamaican accent. You know what I'm saying? Like he had like the Dudley Boys, like the way he used to do Devon and had Devon looking like an idiot. You know, like that's just the way he used to do. You know, the minority people in this company. But it solidified for me when I just became completely turned off by Vince McMahon is when I found out how close he was to Donald Trump, and that was over for me.
Yeah, he was close in there. Because he's from Connecticut, right?
Well,
Vince McMahon is.
His wife, Linda served in the man cabinet. Linda served in his cabinet.
Yeah, his wife was in his cabinet. I think like not Treasury Secretary, but like another cabinet member. Yeah, Linda McMahon. Yeah, you're right now. I remember. Yeah, Linda McMahon was. Damn, I forgot what it was.
Remember Kane? Kane is the governor or mayor or whatever. Didn't Kane become a mayor?
Who?
Kane.
He's the mayor. Yeah, he's the mayor.
All right, let me ask you this.
Yeah, he did. Kane, Undertaker's brother.
Yeah, he's a mayor.
Yeah. All right, let me ask y'all this. All right, this is a good question for y'all. The Mount Rushmore of wrestling is who?
You want to go? How do you want to do it?
You only could put 4 on this one because the original Mount Rushmore. I'm going to say Flair, Hogan, and the other 2. I'm going to go Bret the Hitman and Ricky Steamboat.
I'm going to go Flair, Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold because of what they did to wrestling.
Yeah, I'm going to say Hogan.
The other 2 is interchangeable. Yeah, that's a hardwood shape.
Yeah,
I'll take Bret off, right, and I'll put Ultimate Warrior and what's his name and Undertaker on there.
Game, man. They didn't put wrestling back on the map like The Rock and Stone Cold did.
Yeah, but
Stone Cold.
I'm gonna go with Big Nick, but I'm gonna change The Rock. I'm gonna change The Rock for the Undertaker.
Yeah, I'll put the Undertaker in place of Steamboat.
No, man, you can't go. You can't. Who you gonna move for Steamboat? You can't move Stone Cold. Like I can even make a case. To move The Rock and put John Cena there.
No, I will put Shawn Michaels before John Cena.
No, Shawn.
Me too.
Look, you know who the number one selling merch of all time? Who has the number one selling merch of all time?
Stone Cold.
Stone. You know who's right behind him?
Stone Cold probably, yeah.
John Cena, man.
Cena? Well, he was probably because he was a good marketer. I don't think it's because of what he did on the wrestling mat. I think because he's a great marketer. He's a great marketer.
But that all that counts. He did more. He like after the Attitude Era. After the Attitude Era, he carried WWE until the Shield and all those people.
I'll give him that. He was a good marketer. He good at promoting guys. He will make a great commissioner. I will give you that. He will make a great commissioner.
The Miz or John Cena?
Who's
better on the mic, the Miz or John Cena?
The Miz. I don't know.
All I know is The Rock. On The Rock was the best. All right, let me ask you this. Okay, the WWF missed two great WrestleMania opportunities with Hogan. Which one you think was the bigger miss? Hogan and Ric Flair the first time, or Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Well, I can tell you they didn't want to do the Hogan Ric Flair because Ric
Flair,
even though Hogan was a cartoon, eating vitamins in the movies, Ric Flair was still the biggest star over him. And they didn't want no way Vince McMahon was going to let Hogan go, was going to let Ric Flair go over Hogan. It just wasn't going to happen, right? So they wanted to protect Hogan. But Stone Cold, I just don't think Hogan was like that good of a worker at all. I think he was the greatest. No,
he's a big personality.
The greatest baby face of all time, and I think he was the greatest heel of all time at the same time. I just don't think he was a good worker. He only had the leg boot and the boot drop and the body slam. He's not that good in the ring. He really wasn't. He wasn't that good in the ring. They kept him away from a lot of people too. They kept him away from Bret Hart. They kept him away from certain wrestlers. They kept him away from.
Yeah.
But Kurt Angle is better than Bret Hart. Crypto, stop playing.
No way. Not a chance.
What?
Not a chance. Nobody beats the excellence of execution.
Man, it's true. It's damn true. Kurt Angle is top 3 all time, man.
Oh man, that's a tough one, man. Kurt Angle was good. I would give him that. Kurt Angle was good. It was good.
Dude, you had never seen a dude at that size doing moonsaults. You've never seen that. This dude used to do them every match.
No, he was like he was around what, 220, 230?
He's probably around somewhere between 218 and 225, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he was like right in the middle. Like he was like not too small, not too big. He was like the perfect size.
Right, but the things he did in the ring, man, he was like he elevated so many people that got in the ring with him, man. Like he made stars out of people. Just like Bryan Danielson, you get in the ring with Bryan Danielson, you're gonna have a good match. It's just certain people. You get in the ring with Bobby Lashley, you're gonna have a good match. It's just certain people that you're gonna have a good match with.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's another way to show how racist that company is. Bobby Lashley should be one of the top people in the world.
Yeah.
My son don't care when I'm live on the internet.
Yeah, it's all good.
He said he don't care about none of that.
Now he want to show off. Now he want to come talk because I heard us talking about it. Now he want to perform.
Hey man, children are a wonderful thing, man.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
They're little terrorists, man.
Hey, Shake.
Yes, sir.
Shake, you said you've been to a local wrestling match, watched the WWE locally, or you watched them at a main event?
Did you say wrestling?
Wrestling. What's up? Hey, what's up, Rapid Car? Listen, I've been to 2 Nitros. I've been to 2 Raws. A Thunder. I've been to Beach Bash and
I forget about the Beach Bashes used to go. Yeah.
My first, I'll never forget. My first WWF event was in the Miami Arena, and this was when NWO was starting to rift. And if you recall, Macho Man got ran over by a yellow and red Viper before the show started.
Damn.
And everybody was speculating it was Hulk Hogan because those
because
were
of the color. Yeah, his colors. Yeah. Okay.
And that's when, and I'll never forget. I brought my homeboy Franklin. He's never been to wrestling, right? And what happened was, again, those NWO was big at the time, so a lot of people were coming out to that ten. And then after the event, he told me, "Hey man, do all the wrestlers come out to the same opening music?" He thought all the wrestlers were like, why are all the wrestlers coming out to the same track? I'm like, no, I had to explain it to him. But he literally thought that almost all the wrestlers come out to the same music.
I remember when 9/11 happened, that the WWE Vince McMahon and it was on a great storyline. The death of Vince McMahon. Stop, be quiet. The death of Vince McMahon when he got in a limousine and it blew up.
Well, yeah.
They couldn't continue that storyline because 9/11 happened like the next week, that Sunday. I mean that Tuesday. The next day, 9/11 happened and they scrapped that storyline. But I wanted them to finish that storyline to see who, because I love a mystery in wrestling. They don't do mysteries anymore. But they used to do who's doing it, who's done it. They don't do them anymore.
Shout out to my man Anthony Piolucci with the $5 donation. Hey man, appreciate you, brother. No, what about when the Austin got hit? That was a big one.
None of you guys knew that was Rikishi. None of you knew that was Rikishi.
Uh-huh. I did it for you, Rock. You go, shut up, you fat wearing thong fatty, whatever. I did it for the people.
And that was supposed to be the push out this world for Rikishi, but The Rock destroyed him on the mic, so they killed that push right there. That's why they only had the one match.
Well, what happened? Well, what's funny is, they wanted to give Stone Cold a vacation, some time off, whatever. So that's when they did the "You're Fired" match.
Yeah, he broke his neck.
Yeah. They want to give him time. So remember that there was a match where he got fired, right? The next day, everybody was refunding their tickets, so they had to bring back Austin because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
he got ran. Like from the beginning, I thought it was Triple H. I thought it was Triple H from the beginning, but the way the evidence was pointing, like Triple H was like way in the foreground. Nobody was even thinking about Triple H anymore until it all came down and he was the mastermind behind it, the Rikishi thing.
Yeah, man. But like I said, next Saturday on the Finn's Tailgate, I'm gonna put it on the headline. This is it's gonna be a strictly wrestling chat next Saturday, man.
Yeah.
Where would China be today? Where would China be? Would China be the baddest woman on the planet?
She still be. I think she should be in the Hall of Fame. But that shit between her and Stephanie McMahon is the only reason she's not in there.
No, they put her in. They put her in with DX.
Okay. No, but I'm talking about Solo. I'm talking about Solos. China Solo.
But she was a porn star. That's why.
I mean, so was whatchamacallit, man. There's so many other people that did X-Pac, and well, he was also with DX, but still.
Real quick, X-Pac's original wrestling name.
1 2 3 Kid.
Yeah, 2 3 Kid. Yeah, 1 2 3 Kid. Yeah,
his second
I remember
name.
that. Yeah, the 1 2 3 Kid.
6-Pac.
It was 6. It was 6 first, then it was 6-Pac.
Yeah, right.
All right, Shake, you got it.
Yep.
All right, Shake.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that whole era. That whole era he went through with the changing of his name, play on his name.
I'm gonna give you guys a name of one of the most underrated characters, which was probably one of the greatest acting and the funniest character that's underrated, and that's Hurricane Helms. The Hurricane was awesome. I tell you guys what, when you get a chance, go to YouTube and put in the Hurricane and the Rock, and tell me if you don't crack your side laughing at those segments.
Yeah,
that man was awesome.
Hurricane and the
King
Rock.
Dingling or something like that. I forgot what he called him, but yeah, man.
Tiny Dingling. No, what? No. Oh.
Dingling, what?
Don't laugh at the Rock's jokes.
Damn.
I remember when the Rock went heel. Like he asked the crowd, he like, "You guys sure you want to boo me?" He said, "Okay, right," because he didn't really want to go heel, but when he seen the crowd, because that was after the Hogan thing, you know, that wasn't after the Hogan, that was before the Hogan. That's after the Scorpion King. When he came back, he was all Hollywood and everything.
No, what's funny? I remember he did interview. Right, he goes, "Are we at SmackDown? Yes. Is this a sold out crowd? Yes. Are you a hermaphrodite? Yes. I mean, no."
Michael Cole, yeah. Oh no, that was the coach. That was the coach. I don't know.
It wasn't coach. No, it was Kelly. Somebody Kelly. It was.
Oh, that was Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, Kevin Kelly. He's called the hermaphrodite.
I don't know who he used to get the most though, The Rock or Michael Cole. I don't know. But he used to kill Michael Cole. Oh my God.
Go Heat, bitch. Remember when he did like that? Remember he goes, and by the way, and go Heat, and then he body slammed him.
Yeah.
He threw up the U, and then whatchamacallit. Oh, by the way, when I saw The Rock 3 times in person. The first time he wrestled in a casket match against The Undertaker. The second time he wrestled, it was a tag team match. He wrestled. It was him and Boss Man versus Austin and Mankind. This was a house show.
You remember how Jericho used to run down? Remember how Jericho used to run down Stephanie McMahon? Oh my God.
Yeah, Jericho. I didn't like him at all, Jericho.
I remember dressing like Ultimate Warrior as a kid.
Yeah.
For Halloween.
Man, he was iconic. That boy, you want to talk about a lunatic? He was a real lunatic.
They got him as like the worst performer in wrestling history, though. He was horrible in the ring.
And listen, I don't care what nobody says, man. When you heard
he was wild.
You can't tell me you didn't get hyped when you heard that. Dun, 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 dun. You heard his theme music.
Yeah,
that shit got you hyped.
Who was the Ultimate Warrior's tag team partner when he broke in?
Sting. They were Dingle Warriors.
What was the name of the Warriors?
Dingle Warriors.
No.
They were
they were the Blade Runners.
The Blade Runners.
He was the Dingo Warrior.
Was it Dingo Warrior? The Blade Runners. He had another one too, where he I think the Crushers or something. Was it the Crushers? It was another group he was with. That was somebody else. Yeah.
But
he was a tag team and he went on his own.
The worst storyline in wrestling history was the fake warrior versus the real warrior, and they had this mystic warrior that can appear behind people's ghosts, and that was the worst storyline ever.
What about the fake Kane? The fake Undertaker.
That was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't pay too much attention to that one, Shake Bunny, because I only liked the real Undertaker, so I never paid any attention to that one.
The Undertaker and Kane actually tricked me one time when Kane had to fight for something. The Undertaker couldn't fight for it anymore, and Undertaker went in dressed as Kane. And we should have known that because both sleeves was down on Kane, and he only had one sleeve.
Yeah.
But he had both sleeves this time. And at the end of the match, when the Undertaker took off the mask and it was him, I was like, "What the hell?"
He dressing up as Kane.
Yeah, my favorite one though. My favorite one was when he was Vince McMahon was in the hospital. I'll take it from here, nurse. He beat the shit out.
Stone Cold hit him with that bedpan. He hit him for real with that bedpan.
Bang. I'll take it from here, nurse. Or how about the one? How about when he was feuding with Bret Hart? No, with Bret Hart, and he took the ambulance.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And then Gorilla Monsoon goes, "We have rules here." He goes, "Listen, you out here, you calling yourself the gorilla, but you're out here hee-hawing like a jackass."
Damn.
Do you guys remember the Bret Hart and the Jerry Lawler feud?
Yeah, that was a good one. That's when Isaac Yankem came in. That's when he brought in Isaac Yankem, which was Kane.
Yeah, and the loser had to kiss the other one's foot.
Yeah,
and Bret Hart stuck his whole toe in King Lawler's mouth.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yep. He took his. Yep. Had to kiss the other guy's foot.
Let me welcome my right-hand man, Mr. Greg. What's going on, Greg? How you doing, my brother?
Doing good. How about you guys?
What's up, Greg?
Good, man.
Good
to see you as always.
Greg.
Hey, by the way, Greg.
Hey, Greg. Jason Tatum just requested a trade.
I know, right?
By the way, Greg, this Tuesday, bro, I'm gonna be airing your episode, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this Tuesday. The fireworks are gonna start early.
See if you can beat my record. I'm still most viewed right now. See if you can beat my record.
I work, so I can't watch. I'll watch it after. I'm gonna be laughing.
Greg got the longest one. Part 2, part 3.
I just murdered you, Crypto. Oh man, I looked at you. I felt sorry, Crypto. I just murdered you.
What?
I'm very excited.
What are you talking about?
Well, you was in the blender, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crypto, you was in the blender.
Yeah, I was. I was a second guess.
I'm saying I murdered your views.
I ain't paying attention to the views.
Actually, the most, I don't have that much views right now, but the most views right now is the dude that just left, Anthony Piolucci. He has.
I know, he got one more than me. He don't count. He got one more. He don't count.
Actually, he got 200. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm looking at it now. Who actually the one with the most views right now is Miss Pam with 213.
What?
Yeah,
I gotta get my kids to go watch this shit. Y'all go watch it.
Yeah, one.
Cause Anthony had 200. I had one
right to the gate.
So I just
right out of the
Anthony
gate.
Don't count because I be on every panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, she right out of the gate, Pam. I ain't even pay attention to how many views any of them got, but yeah, I ain't even paying attention. Shake.
You gotta get Doc. You gotta get Doc, Shake. You gotta get Doc.
He's booked. He's on the 11th. I already got him booked.
You got him for next week. I mean, a couple of more weeks.
Yeah,
10 more days.
Greg is gonna be this Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch live from work.
Ali is gonna be Thursday. Then after that, it's gonna be Doc. After Doc, it's gonna be not crypto. Color commentary, and after color, it's gonna be. I don't know. I'm looking to book somebody, and then I'll be last. But if I have I have a special guest lined up. If that special guest can make it, I'll put myself for season 2. Who gives a fuck about what I mean?
I know.
You talking about that?
Doug, got to be Doug.
A special guest. I'm not gonna say who. You'll see.
Are you talking about for the season finale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Then you do season 2 at the beginning.
No, Pam's gonna read my season. I'm getting you, Pam, and Cap for Life because the if you look at the quality, it sucked, bro. Because I didn't have this microphone, and you know, what I mean, I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But you know, now that I'm a little.
Yeah, we were the inaugural. We was the guinea pigs out of the in the laboratory.
Yeah.
We was the lab rats.
Let me ask you a question, Steak. I know you don't really like calling names that's not on the panel, right? But
yeah,
there's a YouTuber, right? I like him, but he's so confusing. He's so hard to understand because he's bipolar as hell when it comes to his takes. Barry Cunningham.
Oh yeah. By the way, Lewis is gonna be before me. It's gonna be color, Lewis, and then myself. Barry Cunningham. I'm looking to work with him and work with him.
He's confusing.
Yeah.
You gotta be real in tune to keep up with him. It's kind of like your attention span got to be another level.
He's not really a Dolphin YouTuber. He's just I think he's a football YouTuber.
Just like a football YouTuber. Yeah.
Another guy that's good. He does mostly Baltimore and Washington because he's from the Maryland area. Top billing. He's a guy who's a big champion for Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, he's a Tua fan. He's definitely the Samoan sniper. And Ace
Yeah.
per head. Ace per head is pretty good.
Yeah, he's another good one. Yeah, I like Ace per head. Yeah, but it's like it's hard to keep up with so many people nowadays,
I don't
man.
know Ace per head.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a
And
dude
the-
he's from New York.
and the
Greg, who
best
do you
film-
like?
The best film breakdown guy in the business, Ryan McCardle, man. I love that kid.
Who do you like, Greg, these days on YouTube?
TD and Doug, but I can't watch. I'm sorry, I'm doing my chips and I'm eating for my lunch here. Hold on 1 second, let me finish.
All right, no problem. Hey, listen, man. The one thing I like about Doug, I haven't been able to keep up with him because again, there's too many things to watch. But if you're one of those guys that really don't follow YouTube and you just want to follow one person, I recommend him because if you're busy, he kind of keeps everything short and sweet, and it's on demand. It's not live because a lot of people, I don't care what nobody says.
Pre-recorded, yeah.
There's some I can't watch the replay. If they're not live, I don't like watching it. I'd rather watch live because of the interaction.
They better live.
The only criticism I have for Doug is because, like me, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Doug doesn't show fire. Sometimes I want you to show fire. He's straight down the middle. You know, he loves the Dolphins. He's down the middle. But sometimes, like every other podcaster or YouTuber, they got a little fire in them when it comes to the Dolphins. And Doug is even keeled, man.
Yeah, that's how I am kind of like.
Yeah,
I'm
you
kinda
like that
even
too,
keeled.
Shake. Yeah.
Yeah, I like TD and Doug, but I haven't been usually in the summer I'm working a lot, and then I'm going to bed late, so I haven't been able to watch as much YouTube as I wanted to this summer. But I like them both. My favorites.
Yeah, plus you're in college too. You got that college too, man. That shit ain't nothing to play with, bro. You got to fucking study your ass off, bro.
Well, I'm also
Exactly.
But it's just like work, and then I'm going to bed late, and then I'm not waking up early in the day, and then I go to work right away, so I don't have time to watch YouTube. But it is what it is. But I like them both. Good content.
Do you guys see the clickbait videos where they'll say, Miami Dolphins rejoice, it's finally happening. And you click on it, and like none of that shit be about it. But I start watching them. I look at the name, and like it be some like a name from India or something. So I figure out what they're doing. They just game the system.
By the way, Chad Sport is another one that I used to hate watching because at the end of the day, you could tell whoever the
they don't know shit about the
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't watch them either.
They don't. There's a lot of teams they don't know nothing about neither. It's just they only follow certain small teams and then they just pop them up.
I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people don't like.
They
Chris
go with
Sims.
the narratives.
I know a lot of people don't like Chris Sims, but at the same time, I guarantee you, he knows more about the Dolphins than Chad Sport do, and they supposed to cover the damn Dolphins. No, Chris Sims. He knows more about the Dolphins than Chad Sport, and they supposed to cover. They supposed to cover the fucking Dolphins.
Yeah.
I was watching Chad Sports one time, right? And it was a position that we had just solidified. And it was a while after this position we had solidified. And they, you know how they like to go, put a C in the chat if you think the Dolphins should go out to this. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like
they're just trying to get reaction.
Are you running out of content, bro? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another two guys. I forget their name, but they only come on. They only talk like 5 minutes about the Dolphins. And you can tell they try to be too much like regular reporters. It's almost like y'all don't know shit about the Dolphins.
Well, the thing about it is they're trying to get engagement. So, like, say for instance, on the Fins tailgate and here, the thing I like about it and Miami Sports Music and TD, anybody of these content cubers, the reason the chat section goes off is because it's usually chat. They're chatting with each other. People in chat are chatting with each other. They're interacting with one another. You know what I'm saying? While the program goes on, especially Miami Sports Music. The chat is its own separate entity from the damn program.
And I'm not calling no names, but I definitely don't like the YouTubers. I definitely don't like the YouTubers that doesn't have as many subscribers as say as TD or Doug, but they always talking about
they got sources.
I reported this 2 weeks ago, or my sources are telling me. I'm like, cut that shit out, man. Stop.
All you did was connect the dots, bro.
You know what I'm talking about. But I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'll be like, cut that shit out, man. You didn't tell. I've been telling you guys this for months, and my coach told me at the time, stop lying, man. Stop it.
Hey, Big Nick.
Yeah, you talking about Big Nick? You talking about when they'll say it as if they was first to the party?
Hey, by the way, Nick, Big Nick, Crypto. You know who I tell people I reveal Nick who my biggest source is. You want to see my biggest source, Nick?
Yeah.
Here's my source right here.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, this is off subject.
That's my source.
I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna try to show you something real quick.
My source is Ian Rappaport and Adam Scheffner. I'm surprised they didn't get fired. Did you see that from ESPN yesterday? They let go all the guys I like. Some of them I don't. Some of them I do.
Yeah.
What the fuck, ESPN, you fucking dick?
Hold on a second. Can you guys see the name?
Willie D.
That's Willie D of the Ghetto Boys. You guys familiar with him?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, that's a good friend of mine, right? He's a YouTuber as well. The reason I'm bringing him up because, and you showed the Source magazine. Yesterday, he made a post that Billboard magazine, they came out with the top 50 rap groups of all time. They had the Ghetto Boys at number 28. Number 28. They had 27 rap groups ahead of the Ghetto Boys. Those people don't know shit about rap music. I don't know why we listen to these people. They had Salt and Pepper. They had the DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince ahead of the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of that it's the thing about it is it's all New York based. Now, if you used to say top rappers in the South, Ghetto Boys is definitely top 5.
Ghetto Boys, I think Ghetto Boys, if they're not number 2, if they're not number 1, they're number 2. The only rap group in the South.
I'm talking about the South.
Is Outkast, right?
South, but as far as the South is concerned, yeah.
And they had 3 6 Mafia ahead of the Ghetto Boys.
I don't. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much that list goes in the trash can.
I know Willie D. Hold on. I know Willie D. and Bishop Bill didn't like each other in real life.
Or Scarface. Scarface didn't like Bill either.
What Big Nick? What did they have? Sugar Hill Gang on that list.
They had them ahead of. I think they was in top 10.
Okay.
But that's influential. I can understand that because of influential influence, right? But
yeah, Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah.
The criteria was longevity, was Mike Skills, culture, influence on the culture, and it was storytelling. How the hell the Ghetto Boys ain't in the top 5 just by storytelling alone?
Yeah, stellar storytelling would be their forte.
Yeah. Hey man, but
I would say because Sugar Hill Gang, if they didn't make that list, I was gonna have a serious problem if Sugar Hill Gang didn't make that list.
It's arguably the Ghetto Boys has the biggest rap song in rap history.
Mind playing tricks on me?
Like you can't name too many songs bigger than that in rap history. Seriously. Like,
I made big money. I bet whatchamacallit, but no, what I was gonna tell you about damn it, I forgot. But yeah. No, yeah, Master P is to me is another one that doesn't get his credit. I think he put I understand we had guys like Ghetto Boys and Outkast before he came out, but I think he's the one who really put the South on the map, who made it more viewed, you know what I'm saying? Because people weren't really considering they really didn't have a like Ghetto Boys, Outkast, they really didn't have a title to their names. They were just hip hop artists. And then once Master P came on the scene, then they started putting South, East Coast, West Coast. You really didn't hear about South music until
the one thing the East Coast bias just won't understand, and I don't think they will ever understand, is that they no longer have rap and they will never get it back. The South is in control forever. It's over with. It's over with. The South, rap belongs to the South now. Even if you come from New York, your beats, your style has to be similar to the South. Because it's just over. That New York offbeat rap stuff is not happening anymore. And being from Florida, being the oldest guy on this panel, I remember when the Sugar Hill Gang came out. I wrote my first rap after hearing that song. But being from Florida, I remember when the New York rappers or East Coast rappers used to pick at us about bass music, about our style of rap.
Uncle Luke.
And every single song that comes on the radio now is influenced by Miami's bass style.
Yep. All I know, listen, all I know, rap hip hop now is regional now. It's not like we used to be. But like I said, my favorite rapper of all time, and I took JT Money. That's how I got the nickname.
Who's the best lyricist to ever come out of South Florida? I know who's the biggest star. You guys have never named the biggest
South
star.
Florida. No, I wouldn't know about the South Florida.
Biggest lyricist. I know. I'm sorry to say this, and I know this may sound biased because he's my favorite rapper. But the best lyricist is JT Money because he's one of those. If you listen to Poison Clan, you could close your eyes and create it. He'll paint a story in his head.
Yeah, he's good, but I don't think he's better than Trick. I just don't think lyrically. I don't think he's better than Trick. But I think the biggest rapper to ever come out of South Florida is Pitbull.
Yeah,
the second
he was good lyrical. Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I'll take it back. Pitbull. He was good lyricist.
The second biggest, if he's not 1B, is Flow Rider.
Yeah.
Right? Flow Rider, I like him too.
By the way, my favorite album, one of my favorite albums from Trick Daddy I could listen to from back to back was Thug Matrimony. Because it had it wasn't just one type of songs. He had the booty shaking, he had the thug, he had the songs that'll make you think. He had the feel good music. One thing about Trick Daddy, he wasn't a one trick pony. He wasn't just rapping about one certain thing. He was very versed in his albums and
I got
in his
some
songs.
homework for you, then, Shake. I got some homework. Go back when you get a chance. Go listen to Book of Thugs. Chapter 8, verse 47.
Yeah, of course I listened to that one.
And then let me know what song you can fast forward over in that album. And see, that was Trick's biggest problem.
I mean, I could agree. You couldn't, but the reason I like Thug Matrimony better was because it had variety.
On a holiday.
it was more variety. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just wanna sing. See if I could sing you a song, I bet you love it. Remember that song?
Yeah.
I just wanna sing.
The Book of Thugs was his outcome and was his coming out to the world. But his biggest problem to me, from his fans like me, was that Book of Thugs album was so good that I expected every album after that to be the next Book of Thugs.
I'm gonna show you something real quick.
Never lived up to it.
Show you something real quick. Back in the day, right? I used to go by the name of DJ Shake. Back in the day, okay. That was my name.
I got so much in common. My first rap name was Dr. Rap.
So, because Shake is my real nickname. So it was given to me by my best friend, God rest his soul. Yeah. So I'm always have that name with me. You know what I'm saying? Shake is always going to be
of your stage name you went through.
Well, my real nickname is Shaky Rodriguez.
Okay.
We don't know who Shaky Rodriguez is. He was the coach from Miami.
Yeah.
So I of course I'm not going to be able to use that name, Shaky Rodriguez.
He coached a couple of guys.
Miami High.
He coached a couple of guys I played. He coached UD. He coached a couple of guys I played against. That one went to the Miami High. He was supposed to be really Steve Edwards. Allen Edwards, Doug Edwards. Yeah, Shaky. And then he went on to what, Kansas State, I think, or something like that.
Hold on, I'm looking for a picture real quick. As soon as
he went to a D1 school. Yeah, Shaky was all right.
Yeah, then he went to FIU. He coached FIU.
Yeah. See, I played against Eddie Jones. I played against Steve Edwards. Doug Edwards is a little older than me. I never played against him. But I don't played against some people, man.
They won a lot of championships, but they were illegal recruiting motherfuckers like hell, bro.
Yeah, they was bringing players over from the Bahamas. Like it was a big scandal with them.
All right.
But they're the reason why South Florida kind of got away from districts. If you notice, if you have any kids, it's not really districts anymore in South Florida. Mm-hmm. You can almost go to any school you want to.
So let me show you this real quick.
I want to take my kid to a pancake place.
See this right here? Did you see it?
Look at Shay.
You know who that is?
Okay.
Shay, you was a bully.
You know who that was, though?
No.
I'm next to?
I can't see it. You got to blow it up a little bit.
Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit more. That's probably as big as it get.
Look like Forrest Whitaker.
No, actually, that's Ted Lucas. This was in his studio in South Beach. I did an interview with him. And the one thing he said was, he said, see, what happened was Hollywood, Trick Brothers' best friend was Hollywood.
Hollywood,
yeah. And unfortunately, he got shot up at Miami Nights.
And Buddy Rose.
Before he started a record label. He wanted to sign Trick Daddy, but Trick Daddy was in and out of prison, so he was kind of hesitant. So he did a song with Luke called "Scarred,"
right?
And then this is his words, not mine. So because I interviewed him personally. Anyway, so he said. Luckily he found out that Trick didn't get signed, so he went up to him and said, "Listen, man, I want to sign you to my record label, but can you promise me?" And because I'm gonna rewind it. This was at his brother got shot up at Studio 183. The only way they were identify him because of his gold teeth. This was in Studio 183. It's on 183rd and 27th Avenue.
Yeah.
But any route, so he was at the Trick Daddy was in prison at the time, and so. They took him. He was in shackles at the funeral, right? And he says, "Hey man, listen, I'm gonna sign you. I want to sign you to the label, but can you stay out of trouble?" And he said, "Yeah, man." And so they signed him, and he said what happened was one of his biggest breaks was the fact that Nan, remember that song Nan, he did with Trina.
Yeah.
Came out when the Super Bowl was in Miami, and of course, everybody that was like a strip club song, and everybody was vibing to that, bro. Once he came into Miami, he said, and that's what kind of put him on the map was Nan.
Did he talk about Buddy Rowe too? He was going to sign Buddy Rowe as well.
Yeah, I think he went to jail too, right?
Yeah, he went to Fed. Cause one of my G's got caught with 3 keys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that was one of the best interviews. I did an interview with him, and I also hold on. Let me show you another one.
Oh, there it is.
I also did an interview with Plies too.
Hey, Plies is the most authentic Florida rapper, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's the most authentic. He sounds like we talking. That's why I'm a big fan of Plies, because he's not conforming. He's not changing. He sounds just how Floridians talk, and that's what I love about him.
He's from Fort Myers too.
Yeah, he's from Fort Myers. And I try to tell people all the time, man, stop thinking the South is the only place where the gangsters at. Fort Myers is wild.
Yeah, I know. I live around here, so I should know.
Fort Myers off the chain.
Yep. He said, I asked him, I said, what at the time? I said, what's the difference between Fort Myers and Miami? He said, just the population.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Plies first came out, you couldn't have told nobody he wasn't from Miami. Everybody thought he was from Miami. And I remember one of the proudest moments I felt when I found out T-Pain was from Florida.
Yeah, he's from Tallahassee. Tallahassee Pain. Yeah, but
I told you Shake was a bullet, man. I'm telling you, Shake was a bullet, man. Shake
that's
was
me
a
right
bullet,
there.
Man.
That's me back in the day. Yeah, man. That was taken at Dave and Buster's. Dave and Buster's.
Hey, the first picture you showed, you look like you belong in LA riding on the big three wheeler with big rims. You look like a mafia. That right there, you look like you into your hip hop days. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, look at Shake.
Shake Money.
Man. That was back in the day, man. I miss the good old days, man.
So you were born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s.
Who, me? I was born in 78. So
okay, so you called it. I was born still
The
same, almost the same. I was born in the
tail
70s,
end of the
but the
decade.
80s was my time.
Yeah, I was born right in the middle of that decade, the 75.
So the 90s was you call some of the 80s, but the 90s was basically your time too. And I try to tell kids all the time, man, look, me and people that were born in my generation, we look at some kids like they wouldn't have made it in the 80s. They wouldn't have made it. The 80s was a different time, boy. Woo.
Yeah, it was a madness era there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of change.
80s was a different time because there was no shooting and killings, and it was a bunch of getting jumped. And that's just you just had to wear it. You was gonna get jumped in the 80s.
That was probably a good chunk of them in the 80s was coming down off their high from the 70s.
Yeah, probably.
They were sobering up. They had time to shoot and kill each other.
Oh, DJ Shay, I got a show for you.
What's
We
that?
should do a show talking about the greatest music decades.
Yeah.
Of course, the 70s is going to win that easily.
Of course.
I'm just saying,
As far as one-hit wonders, I would have to say the 80s.
I did
the most one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to work for WBR. It was a radio station called WBR where I won a couple of awards. It was a college. I wasn't a college. It was for the college students, but because I worked for the university, they allowed me to have a radio station. So, I mean, a gig, whatever, a slot.
Hey, college radio is some of the most lit radio stations on the planet, man. College radio, they give you guys so much freedom over there.
Yeah, it was. We you know what I'm saying? All we had to do, but we had to do station ID, and then every once in a while we had to play the sponsors. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other than that, I pretty much. By the way, I just want to shout out to my homeboy. This is my one. This is the dude right here. I'm gonna show you the last thing. I'm gonna show you this his name. This the guy who gave me my name.
My first rap name was.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah,
gave you Shake Money.
Yeah, that's my dude right there, man.
Yeah, he ain't played
I hate to interrupt, but
I
want to keep hearing about this. I gotta go.
All right, my brother.
2 hours of my shift at work. So have a good day.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up anyway, Greg. Hey, listen, Greg. If you we're gonna do open panel tonight, but yeah, man. Like I said, this Tuesday, bro, you're gonna be on here, man. So
yeah, let's go. Watch it.
Appreciate you, Greg.
I'm gonna go too. Let me give you guys all my rap names real quick before I go.
Okay,
go. My first ever rap name was Dr. Rap. My next rap name was Cool Nick. My next rap name after that was Havoc, HAVOC. And my final rap name, which I still go by today, well, not go by, but it's the one I will use because it's the best one. It's Cheddar Boy.
Cheddar Boy.
Cheddar Boy.
I could use some cheddar biscuits right now.
Well, yeah, cool, but big Dr. Rap. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Rap. I'm here to make it pop till you just can't stop. I remember my first rap album.
I remember that. You know, that reminds me of my best friend.
I never made no rap albums.
His favorite song of all time was "Play at Your Own Risk."
PLAY, if you play with me.
So every time I want to go down memory, like because he passed away in 2015, man, doesn't do it. It's like, God damn, I miss my homie. But anyway, anytime I want to think of him, I always play that song.
Was that Planet Patrol, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't a rap group. They was a musical group.
Yeah. By the way, Two Live Crew.
Soul Sonic Force wasn't a rap group either.
Two Live Crew. I love, man. Two Live Crew. Sports Weekend was one of my favorite albums from them. Sports Weekend. That's what pop that coochie.
I have a picture of me and the Sun Sentinel sitting on the steps of the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale. I think it was 1987, somewhere around when they was fighting the band in the USA, when they was fighting the censorship. My cousin is actually the record store owner that kept selling their tapes and went to jail, was on Jenny Jones, was on Geraldo. Nick Navarro made his whole political career by arresting my cousin because he continued to sell their tapes in his record store. And I remember when the trial was going on. That's when I met Brother Marquise. I wound up dating his sister 20 years later. His sister, Brother Marquise. I met Fresh Kid Ice, and I saw Luke. And I'm sitting on the steps of the federal courthouse, and the son sitting took a picture of me. And what was crazy about that picture is I stole my uncle's brand new shirt and wore it. And that's how he found out I had on his shirt.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Anyway, we're about to wrap this up, man. Crypto, you have anything before we go? Go ahead.
I'll say this, Shake Money. I didn't have a rap name, but I did have a nickname growing up, and it was for the game of pool. My nickname was J-Ball growing up because still am a great pool player. And it was basically the guy by the name of Kevin Taylor. He gave me that nickname because of how good I was at pool. So he said instead of calling me 8-Ball, he just called me J-Ball.
So I want to ask you a question about that. You say you're a great pool player, and I wouldn't doubt it. Great pool player, because my uncle was a phenomenal pool player, but he would not play on the 8-foot table. He said, I'm too good for an 8-foot table. Would you play on the 8-foot table?
I mean, I would, but I don't prefer it.
Yeah.
That's not my preference. I would, though. I would.
On the 8-foot table.
Yeah, I don't prefer it. You know. I mean, it's all about it really pool is a math game, whether you know it or not. It's really about math and angles.
Well, I prefer an Olympic pool.
You are not trying to lose all that green in front of you.
I prefer an Olympic size pool because I can't swim in 8 feet.
So we have a pool here in Fort Lauderdale, right on the beach that the Olympians used to come train at. And I've never been in that pool. I've seen it 1,000 times, but I've never been in it. The Hall of Fame pool right here in Fort Lauderdale. That's where Greg Gaines and all those. And then, like, I can just say you got so many stories because my aunt used to play tennis against Chris Evert before she was Chris Evert. Like, she went to my high school. We went to the same alma mater. Like, I can just Michael Irvin, like Laurent. Oh my God, this is another show. Hey, fins up, man.
Fins up, guys.
Fins up, man.
Hey, Crypto, I will see you tonight, my brother.
Yep, I will see you tonight.
All right.
Appreciate it, Shake Money.
Oh shit, I appreciate you, bro. More than you ever know.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing.